message. Or walk to my locker. Did you know that a bully will stop his or her behavior in 10 seconds when their peers speak up?
Use your voice.
Hey, leave him alone.
We have the power to stop bullying.
Find out more at bullying.org.
Bullying.org.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Where you're not alone.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. We're in the midst of yet another big day of college bowl games, kicking off in moments in Nashville. It'll be Tennessee and Purdue. That's the Music City Bowl, and it's on ESPN and ESPN Radio earlier. In fact, ending just a little while ago. South Carolina with a big win over North Carolina, 38-21 in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. And yes, Shane Beamer, South Carolina head coach, did take a bath in mayonnaise after the win. Coming up at 7 p.m., Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl between Pitt, Michigan State, and it's all leading up to tomorrow's college football playoff semifinals. Top-ranked Alabama against the 4th seed Cincinnati in the first game. Bama head coach Nick Saban has always seemed to get his team ready to play in the postseason, but Nick says it ain't easy.
It's always challenging when you come off of winning a championship for players to have the same hunger to have a sense of urgency to prove something. I think it took this team a little longer to maybe respond on a consistent basis.
It's Keith from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, hoping you're spending as much time with your wonderful family as possible. When the calendar turns to 2022, we'll be right here talking about the NFL playoff picture. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Thursday afternoon, ESPN 690, one day before New Year's Eve. We got one show to go, and we're missing one key component. Where in the world is Brent Martineau? Well, I'll tell you. This is Casey Kurtz, by the way. Brian Middleton is along with me. We'll give you all the details here in a second, but this is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We got a lot to talk about. We got picks to make. We got college football semifinals. The Jags have nobody left on the active roster, it feels like. We'll get to that right after this. But like I said, Brent Martineau, where in the world is he? Well, I'll tell you. Brent called me today around noontime. Calm, cool, collective. Said, hey, what you doing? I said, just chilling. Brent, what are you doing? He said, I missed my flight. I said, what? He said, connecting flight, missed it. Honest mistake. They wouldn't stop the plane for me. I said, what do you mean they wouldn't stop the plane for you? I said, did you walk up there and say, do you guys know who I am? Did you pull that card? I'm verified on Twitter, 25K followers. He tried all that. They wouldn't bring the plane back to the gate. So, long story short, Brent Martineau's been chilling in an unidentified airport. He will be here, though, in the 4 o'clock hour. He'll be here for 4 and 5 o'clock, which is when we'll make our picks. We'll talk about the Jags. We'll look back at the year that was in sports. It was an interesting one outside of Jacksonville as well as inside of Jacksonville. But that's where Brent is. So for the first hour, you got me and Brian Middleton. And Brian Middleton came in here with a smile on his face due to the fact that the South Carolina Gamecocks, against all odds, won the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Whoa, against all odds?
Well, North Carolina was a better football team.
I mean, apparently not.
Yeah, that's fair. Your guy, Shane Beamer, got mayo poured on him, so that's pretty gross.
I call him Shane Saban, honestly, the way that we're moving now, man.
For winning the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
Hey, listen, winning bowl games, getting into bowl games, getting top-tier talent to come to the school, I don't see a difference.
Well, nevertheless, how locked in were you to the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
Not very. I was running some errands, so I was watching on my phone through an app that I will not name over the airwaves. And but you know, okay. I was keeping track. It was a big first quarter, and then after that, I was feeling pretty good about things. So yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, that's happened earlier today on ESPN. Bowl season in full effect. Obviously, The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is tomorrow, Rutgers and Wake Forest, and then obviously the college football semifinals. You got Alabama, you got Cincinnati. That'll kick off at 3:30. Coverage, by the way, will start at 2:30 right here on ESPN 690 for that, and we'll roll right into Michigan and Georgia as well on ESPN 690. We'll talk about that in a bit, but we're going to start where we always start, and that is with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And oh my goodness, so. If you missed this part of the news today, the Jags placed Will Richardson and Andrew Wingard on the COVID list. So we'll start with Will Richardson. Andrew Wingard obviously is playing a lot. Everyone has an opinion on that. Should he not be? But the point of the story, he is playing. He added to the list today. At this point, we don't know who's going to play, but if you're getting added to the list on a Thursday, it's probably not looking good to play on a Sunday. But nevertheless, let's talk about Will Richardson and what that means for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, the current O-line situation on the COVID list is this. Cam Robinson, Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, Ben Barch, Will Richardson are all currently on the list. Now, if you're keeping track at home, that's almost the entire starting offensive line without Jawan Taylor, who, for some reason, Jawan Taylor, everybody else has COVID on the offensive line, not Jawan Taylor. So good for him. But he is active and will likely be your right tackle, barring nothing happens before Sunday. So the rest of your active offensive line looks like this. Walker Little, who would likely play left tackle if Cam Robinson is out. Jawan Taylor, Tyler Shatley, and Casey McDermott. So if you're doing quick math right there, I'm not great at math, but I can do 1, 2, 3, 4 is not enough to play football. So you look to the practice squad, and we've got Coy Cronk, Badara Teroy, and Trevor Wallace-Sims. Brian Middleton, how are they going to play football?
First of all, good job. All those names back to back.
Thank you.
I stuttered too bad for that.
Well.
How are they going to play football? Probably poorly. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Hey, listen, man, this is like a terrible situation, right? And first and foremost, let's get it out of the way. Yes, I'm worried about everybody's health, so I get it. Put them on the list and quarantine them and whatnot.
Sure.
And we want people to be healthy, of course, right? So get that all taken care of. But you start naming those names that I've never heard of, and you start talking about the starting offensive line basically being decimated. That's bringing up a lot of questions, I'm sure, on really who should be playing across the board, let alone just on the offensive line or the many places that you have people who are not going to be able to play in Sunday's game.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. There's no other way to put it, which brings me to this. And we're going to play you a little bit from Brian Schottenheimer here in a second. But before we do that, me and Brent talked about it yesterday, and we disagreed. But now it's even more. Like, Will Richardson didn't push it over the edge to me, but obviously you have an opportunity to get some of these guys back. Like Ben Barch, for example, has been on the list since last week. So you would think if you're going to get somebody back, Ben Barch, Norwell's been on it. Cam's new on it, so you're probably not going to get him back. But the point of the story is, I told Brent Martineau, you cannot play Trevor Lawrence without your offensive line. Like, you just can't do it. You can't put practice squad guys and Walker Little and Jawan Taylor out there to protect Trevor Lawrence against the New England Patriots. It is a bad idea. I understand you're trying to win football games, and you're trying to give him the reps he needs, and that's all fine and good. But you cannot put this guy out there in harm's way against the Patriots, who, by the way, we'll talk about what's going on with the Patriots. Matt Judon, obviously on the COVID list. He is expected to speak to the media today, which gives people, New England media, the belief that he will be activated because you don't really talk to somebody who's on the COVID list. Another offense or defensive player comes back for them on their defensive line. So they're going to be at full strength, most likely, on the defensive line. Dietrich Wise Jr. is who they will get back. So you get Judon back, you get Wise Jr. back. Christian Barmore is questionable, but he will likely play as well. But everybody that's besides Judon, like I just mentioned, and Wise, who came back, everybody else who's questionable on their defense is due to injury, which makes you believe that everyone's questionable at this point in the season. So it looks like they're going to be at full strength on defense, and you're trying to tell me that Trevor Lawrence should go out there and play football against them with a practice squad offensive line? No, sir, no, ma'am. Absolutely not. You remember what happened to Joe Burrow last year? That's the only thing that keeps playing in my head over and over and over. And can you imagine? I know you can't play scared. Brent Martineau's going to say that when he gets here, and that's fine. You can't play scared. You have nothing to gain in this game. The spread is 16.5 points. Your whole team is on the COVID list. And it's funny how when this happens to Jacksonville and not the Cleveland Browns, when the Cleveland Browns had nobody to play, it was all over ESPN. The Jags have nobody. Look up and down the depth chart. Go to ESPN.com. Click on the Jags depth chart. Out. The whole offensive line. Malcolm Brown, Devon Hamilton, Josh Allen, Damian Wilson, Miles Jack, Jahad Ward, Andrew Wingard, Kaylavon Chason, Lorente McCray, Jay Tufele. All have the O next to their names.
Well, it's not a big deal because the Jags are 2-0 forever.
Well,
Cleveland basically has been fighting for a playoff spot the whole year.
And I get that. I do understand that. And I'm not – when Cleveland wanted to get the game postponed or pushed back, I was against that. And I'm against this happening. Like, the Jags shouldn't get any extra credit for this. But the Jags do, if you can field the team and play the football game, which all indications you will – the coaching staff has said they don't know who's going to play, who's going to be wearing the Jag uniform, but at the end of the day, they're going to play football, they believe. You can't put Trevor Lawrence out there. Earlier today, Brian Schottenheimer was asked that very question, and this is how he answered it.
I think everything is just so up in the air. Right now, we're going into this game plan. Trevor Lawrence is going to be our starter. Why? Because we think Trevor gives us the best chance to win. Again, as the week goes, as things pop up, certainly, Bev will be communicating to myself and the entire staff about decisions. But right now, we're just trying to piece together the puzzle, and we're going to find the best 11 to put out there. And again, like I said earlier, Ashlyn, we expect whoever those 11 are that they're going to go out there. We're going to have them prepared, and they're going to give us everything they got to go beat a really good football team in their home stadium.
So piecing together a puzzle is not number one I want to hear when I'm protecting Trevor Lawrence. But at the beginning of the sound, you heard him say, they're preparing to play with Trevor Lawrence, but he said it a couple times, in my opinion, that, hey, they're gonna look at the options and they're going to prepare to play and all that. But in the back of their heads, they know what's best for Trevor Lawrence. And the season that this guy's already had, statistics-wise, Urban Meyer-wise, everything this guy's been through, and don't get me wrong, Trevor Lawrence wants to play football. And I believe that if he's healthy and he doesn't land on the COVID list, it doesn't matter. They're going to play him. And that's how Brent believes it. He's told me many times. I just disagree. You got to be smart sometimes. I wouldn't do it. I can't do it. I would not put him out there. Brian Middleton, if you're in charge, if you're Darrell Bevell, you got the final say now that you're the head coach. Darrell Bevell's been through a heck of a lot these last couple weeks, but you got to make this decision. Brian Middleton, would you play Trevor Lawrence behind this offensive line?
Well, first and foremost, Darrell Bevell, interim head coach, should he really be able to have that decision-making ability? Because he's not going to be the head coach. I feel comfortable in it. So at that point, who has the decision?
Yeah.
Is it Shad Khan? Is it your favorite GM, Trent Baalke? Who gets to make that decision? You're right. Trevor Lawrence wants to play. That will not even enter his mind. I don't care who's in front of me. I believe in those guys. At least he will say it. He'll never tell us if he doesn't really believe in, a teammate or not. And he wants to get out there and get as many reps as possible, which is understandable. This is still his rookie year, even though he's basically played a full season, and he needs all the reps he can get in order to get better. I lean towards the side of making sure that I'm talking about the first major hit. It sounds crazy, but the first major hit, I'm like, all right, hey, you're out for the day. First time you get hit crazy in the backfield because of a sack, of a missed assignment, who's the backup? Beathard?
CJ Beathard, yeah.
Come on. This is your time to shine, sir, because it is more of an investment. You pay this guy a lot of money. You think his ceiling is beyond those of any quarterback that's come through in a long time. You need to protect your investment. I get the fact that people want to win, but there's been a lot of losing in Jacksonville, so 2 more losses isn't going to make that much of a difference. Losing Trevor Lawrence to injury where he's not coming back at the beginning of next season because of some Week 16, Week 17 game with a hodgepodge of offensive linemen is way more devastating than 2 more losses, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I I agree with what you said there, but at the same time, I disagree with something where, yes, Trevor Lawrence does need all the reps he can get, and that I agree with that. However, how valuable are the reps when you're scared for your life, you have 1 second to get rid of the football, and you're throwing to, now granted, you've been throwing to Treadwell, Marvin Jones, and Taven Austin this whole time. Jadon Mickens also on the COVID list. He's out. Hammond, I believe, is also on the COVID list. He will likely not play. Your entire tight end room is either on the COVID list or questionable with injury. O'Shaughnessy is questionable. Manhurts, Hollister, Luke Farrell, all on the COVID list. So, like, what are these reps actually gonna accomplish? You play C.J. Beathard. You get Dare Ngumbawale. You get Raquel Armstead. You get my boy Sargent from Key West High School. I don't know if you heard us talking about that.
I did.
Yeah, that's that first. We'll get into that in a second. But if you're C.J. Beathard, you turn around and you hand off the football to Ngumbawale, to Raquel Armstead, to Sargent. You maybe run a quick slant to Marvin Jones. You run a wide receiver screen to Treadwell. You do whatever it is you need to do, but you keep Trevor Lawrence out of harm's way, and you somehow get through this football game, even if you play it. Facebook says Trevor should just start limping in practice today. Look, it's not a – listen, Trevor Lawrence is not that guy, so that's not going to happen. But, it's an interesting thought. Who are the wide receivers that are not on the IR, says YouTube. Ngumbawale, Raquel Armstead, and Mekhi Sargent. That's what the Jags will have at the at the running back position. And that's another, at least part of this. Earlier in the week, you heard Darrell Bevell say they had to get the running backs up to speed on – I mean, it's not hard to, like, turn around and get the football and run up the middle or however you want to run that. But pass protection is a big part of getting them up to speed and learning the playbook. And without your offensive line, you can't really put a running back there that doesn't know how to pass protect and where they should be in the new scheme. So at the end of the day, it is a disaster, a COVID disaster in Jacksonville.
Now, Casey, who do you think should have that decision, though? Do you think Darrell Bevell should have that decision?
That's right.
Or should it be Shad Khan? Or should it be Balky? Or who should it be?
That is an interesting call. I forgot that you had said that, but that is a very good point. This is my opinion. Shad Khan is probably not going to call down there and say, hey, don't play this guy. That's just my guess. But to your point, I think obviously Shad Khan put Darrell Bevell in charge because he had to, but at the same time, he trusts him. And if there's one thing we have found out at least a little bit from what's happened this week is that there's some trust in Trent Baalke. I know there's a lot of people that aren't, pretty much all of Jacksonville didn't like when I said that, but at the same time, that's what's been proven to us, that there's a little bit of trust in Trent Baalke. So I think that call would come from someone like that. I just don't see Shad calling down there and saying, hey, don't play this guy, because does Shad really understand what the Jags are going through right now? Maybe. But at the same time, like, it's hard to really wrap your head around. Like, you have other offensive linemen and all this, but when these dudes might not be able to play, I think the call, to answer your question, I don't know if Bevell should make the call. I think if Baalke is going to stay your GM, which it seems like it's going to, he could make that call, yeah, to your point. YouTube says I would sit Marvin Jones as well. That's interesting. Just sit the whole squad. Here's the thing. Besides Trevor Lawrence, you don't really have enough dudes to sit anybody else. I mean, you almost have to play Marvin Jones, but yeah, another one on YouTube. I say run the ball and let the clock tick. Exactly.
Amen.
You have to run the football in this game because it is going to be ugly. And I talked about this a little bit, but on the defensive side of the football, I mean, Malcolm Brown, Devon Hamilton, Josh Allen, Miles Jack. I mean, you're going to get some of these guys back, you believe, but holy cow.
Now, because of the change in the NFL COVID procedures from 10 to 5 days.
Yeah.
Now, if you are vaccinated, you can be tested out of that 5 days, right? You don't have to wait 5 days.
So yes. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to test. But for like Miles Jack, we believe the situation was he felt symptoms and asked to be tested, which is why he was out right before the game. So I'm not 100% sure what if you ask to be tested and come up positive, I think you still have to sit out to answer that question. But to your point, so Josh Allen, for example, was supposed to sit out 10 days. He missed last game. He would also miss this game if he stays in the 10-day window, but he in the new protocols with the 5-day window, he should be able to come back. Will it happen? He still has to test out of it. Who knows? But look, it's going to be a bad situation. Good point by Sean. Also, Logan Cook is on the IR, and as far as I've seen, they haven't signed a punter. So who's going to punt the football? Like, it's really bad. At this point, if you're the NFL, like, do you look at this? Like, at a player safety standpoint, like, the Jags don't have enough people to play at this point. If guys don't test out come Sunday, I have no idea what the NFL will do. Postpone it, forfeit the Jags, I don't know. But at this point, it's a safety concern. If you don't get at least a good amount of these guys back, it's a practice squad game. It is literally a practice squad versus the New England Patriots. An all-time horrible situation. If it was the Jets, you could at least make the argument. You're playing Patriots. Good night. What a disaster in Jacksonville. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Continued unseasonably warm with partly to mostly sunny skies today. Highs in the low to mid-80s, dropping only into the low 60s tonight, and a partly sunny and very warm Friday. Highs tomorrow near records at 80 to 85, setting up a very mild New Year's Eve night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's Family Feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
You want to feel important.
You want to be part of something bigger.
Something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more.
When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it.
We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors.
From the farmlands of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
The mountains of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia.
To the beaches of Florida, South Carolina, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands.
We are here for our hometowns.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut. Take 2. Action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself. To look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com. Treating everyone right.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
Well, I tell you, they've done a great job. One, they're a balanced attack. They want to run the football, and the play action with Mac has been great for them. So they, that's something they've done for years. And, he's doing a really good job, Mac is, and they got the pieces. Their offensive line does a really good job in the run game in terms of, knocking people off the ball and the double team. So we got our hands full. They do a great job, not only running the football, but also with the play action.
Yeah, they have their hands full. They had their hands full even if they were at full strength. They're playing the New England Patriots, who Brent Martineau says at one point in time were bad. Well, you know what? Brent Martineau will be with us here shortly. Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, Brent continuously tells me that the Patriots at one point in time were bad, and I don't believe him. At any point in time in your life were the Patriots bad? I'm going to take that as a no right there. Pretty straightforward. Look, when you look at this Patriots team, you've got, we'll go right back to what Joe Cullen just said. Running the football and running the play action. That's what Mac Jones has been good at. By the way, Brian Hoyer does hit the COVID list for New England. So if you were wondering if Brian Hoyer at some point was going to get in the football game on Sunday, it does not look likely. But look, Damian Harris has been a quality back for the Patriots so far this season, and he's been good running the football. By the way, last week should have played him in fantasy. I beat Brent Martineau. I don't know if you guys had heard that, but I didn't need Damian Harris to beat Brent Martineau.
I did see that. You posted that everywhere. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It's good to see that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man. I was caught up on something. Just before you continue with the Pats, they were good my entire life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my entire life.
So Brent Martineau's a liar then?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how old Brent is. So maybe they weren't good at some point in his life. But yeah,
that's what he says. Like, Brent just says things sometimes. He thought they were going to stop the plane for him earlier today. So, like.
Entitled.
Yeah. Anyway, not important. Sean says Patriots were bad. It's been decades. But not in my lifetime. But the point of the story is this. Damian Harris has been a quality back for them. Ramondre Stevenson is a guy they drafted this season and has been good for them when Damian Harris has been hurt. Jacoby Myers, N'Keal Harry, Nelson Aguilar. That's what you're going to be facing if you're the Jags. Aguilar, by the way, missed practice today and yesterday. So there's a chance you won't see Aguilar. But you remember when he was dropping those passes in Philly and that guy was dropping babies? You remember that?
Yeah.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. By the way, Shaq Mason also out of practice today for New England. But when you look at this New England team, when you look past this football game, they're going to beat the Jags. It doesn't matter if the Jags are at full strength. The New England Patriots are going to win this football game. They're probably going to cover the 16.5 spread. So the question that I now have is, how good are the New England Patriots actually? They win games big, then they go around and lose to the Bills. The Bills are a good team, and that's all fine and good. But I think the New England Patriots are really good. Brent seems to push back at me. When it comes to playoff time, you got to run the football. You got to play defense. The New England Patriots do that. I think they're very good. Brian Middleton, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I think that they are a pretty good team. And I think whenever you have a Bill Belichick team that has a good defense, that's his specialty for decades now, I think once they get into the playoffs, they're going to have a chance to go pretty far. So, right now, I know at the quarterback position seemingly has an answer in Mac Jones, but he is a rookie, and he's having ups and downs to his season. But as long as he's staying with the Belichick system, as far as how you just said, running the ball, having some good play action passing, and then strong defense, I think they're as good as their record says that they are. Are they the favorites? No. But do they have a chance? Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I mean, how much – let me ask you this. So there's been a good amount of – after Brady wins the Super Bowl, he leaves, goes to Tampa, wins the Super Bowl. There's a lot of backlash on Bill Belichick. I think he's a very good coach. Overrated because of Tom Brady or no?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No. See, I know a little bit about NFL history. Just a little bit, though.
Okay.
And so, listen, Belichick, I know he had his stint in Cleveland that didn't go well. Didn't go well to his standards. I don't think anybody saw him being who he was when he made that first head coaching run, right? But he was also the defensive coordinator for those Giants teams that had players like Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks and other players. And granted, that would make your job easier, but somebody had to be the architect of those defenses. And listen, we're going on 20 years now. The same way that we are high on Brady for all of the reasons that we should be, you got to be high on Belichick. You have to. His ability to be able to remain the head coach, keep that consistency of winning and that culture, Brady was a big part of it, but so was he. And I think that he is not just a good coach. I think he's the best NFL coach that we've seen. And, I mean, I guess you have Saban out here. If you want to argue, just head coach at the game of football, you can argue that. But I would give it to Belichick because he's doing it at the highest level.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fair enough. Kansas City, Tennessee, Buffalo are all close, if not better than New England from the stream. And I think that's an interesting thing because Tennessee without Derrick Henry is absolutely not better than New England. Tennessee with Derrick Henry, yeah. Buffalo has obviously, they just went and beat them. So, yeah, you can say that. And then Kansas City, Brent continuously likes to say Kansas City's not the favorite right now. Kansas City is back to playing Kansas City football. They're smoking everybody, and they've all of a sudden figured out how to play defense. They didn't even have Travis Kelce last week, and some dude named Pringle, who is not a flavor of Pringles, just Brian, or Byron, whatever his name is out there scoring 2 touchdowns. Hardman had a touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes down again. I mean, it's next man up for the Chiefs, and they continue to do it. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs should be one of the favorites, but better than New England, yeah, I would say so. Tennessee, I can't go there, and Buffalo just proved it, so that's interesting. Let's get it back to the Jags here for a second. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton is our South Carolina Gamecock, South Carolina fan. He knows what's going on. So, Brian, I forgot they did sign a punter to the practice squad. Joseph Charlton, likely to be punting for the Jags on Sunday. Former South Carolina Gamecock. What can you tell us about Mr. Charlton, what he's going to bring to the table punting the football for the Jags?
He graduated from University of South Carolina. I can tell you right there. Listen, hey, man, he can kick the ball. I can't tell you much more about him.
Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty much all it is. He's punted 61 times in his career, 2,700 yards, average punt of 44.5. He did, at one point in time, complete a 29-yard pass on a trick play, so that's pretty cool. But, yeah, so I guess they do have a punter. I did forget about that. So, hey, problem solved. We got a punter. Let's go play. But at the end of the day, I don't think they can. If something doesn't change, they're not going to play football. So the question is, will they get it pushed back? Will it get canceled? Who knows? But at the current situation they're in, they, as in the Jacksonville Jaguars, cannot play football. The New England Patriots will be able to do that with a 16.5-point spread. We'll pick that one later on when Brent gets here. A lot of other games to pick, including Cincinnati, Alabama, including Michigan, Georgia, the college football playoff, which, by the way, you can hear right here on ESPN 690. Coverage will start at 2:30. The first game will start at 3:30, and we'll roll right into the second game, which is Michigan, Georgia. Cincinnati, Alabama will lead it off. You can hear them both right here on ESPN 690. We will not be here tomorrow. We are taking that day off, and then coming back Monday. I don't know what we're going to be breaking down on Monday, to be honest with you. Probably the college football playoff, because will the Jags play football? Not 100% sure. But I do know Austin Lane will be back. I do know Brent Martin will be back, and we'll be ready to kick off 2022 and just roll from there. Will we be breaking down a Jags win or a Jags loss or a Jags no contest will be the question. But let's keep it here on the college football playoff. We don't do a lot of it, but there's only 4 teams left when it comes down to it. Cincinnati gets in the playoff against all odds. 13.5-point spread. I think the overwhelming consensus is they will not be able to keep up with Alabama. Alabama will just be in just a better football team and make Cincinnati look inferior. And I can't figure out yet if I feel that way or not. You think Cincinnati has even just to stay within 13.5 points, Brian Middleton?
I heard you. I'm trying not to be a hater right now because you know how down I am on Cincinnati.
Yep.
13.5 points, so Nah. I think the way that Alabama looked in that SEC championship game, the way that Bryce Young looked, that offense, and granted, it's been about, 3 weeks now since then?
Yeah.
When they played, so anything can happen to that type of momentum. I don't think it's going to be even that close, though. If Alabama can do that to UGA, how much more can they do to Cincinnati?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I don't know, man. Cincinnati, obviously, the level of competition and all of that, I get it. I just have a hard time believing Cincinnati's not going to be able to score points. And I understand Alabama is what it is, but I don't know. Like, this is going to be we're going to pick this game later on around 4:30, but I can't figure out how I feel about it because I think Alabama should stomp them. I don't know if it's me being delusional and I just want Cincinnati to be a better football team than they are. That could be it. That very well could be it. But I can't put a finger on how I think this one's going to play out. I guess I'm going to have to by 4:30, but until then, I'm going to keep pondering it in my own head. Georgia, Michigan. I do feel a strong way about this one. Stetson Bennett, the 4th, 5th, I'm not sure. I don't know Roman numerals, but he will start, it sounds like, for the Georgia Bulldogs. They cannot win with Stetson Bennett at quarterback.
Oh, man.
Michigan wins the football game. By the way, Michigan, plus 7.5.
There you go.
I'll tell you right now.
Wow.
I think they win the football game. So plus 7.5, that's a no-brainer. Don't tell Brent Martineau, but I'm picking Michigan. Actually, it doesn't matter. Don't tell Austin Lane. I'm picking Michigan because Brent, he's so far out of it, it's not even funny. Me and Austin Lane neck and neck. I'm picking Michigan in this one. We'll talk about that again a little more at 4:30. Am I wrong to believe that Georgia can't win with Stetson Bennett at quarterback?
Well, here's the deal. The only team that I know that they can't beat is Alabama, at least right now with Stetson Bennett, because leading up to that game, they've been undefeated. Michigan, they're a bunch of bullies, man. I watched 3 of their games from beginning to end for the whole season, the last one being the Ohio State game. Other games I've just kind of chimed in on, maybe caught some highlights. But, man, especially in that Ohio State game, they are a bunch of bullies. They can run the ball right at you. They can throw the ball when they need to. They play great defense. And I think that it's one of these things where they have the same mentality of a UGA, of an Alabama, where they can get punched in the mouth and you're not going to devastate them from that one big punch, early on. They're not in awe of UGA. They're not in awe even of a team like Alabama because, based off of their history and based off how they're playing this year, they have that same type of awe, that same type of mentality. So I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that Michigan can win this game. To hear you pick Michigan, though, that threw me off.
Why?
I thought you were going to be a UGA fan all the way through, regardless of who's starting at QB.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Look, Georgia plays good defense, but what has Stetson Bennett proved to you that he can win a big game? He had an opportunity, he didn't do it. They didn't play anybody all season. Like, he beat Florida, but so did everybody. So did Missouri.
So did everybody.
Almost Samford.
Yeah, in that first half, yeah.
So I guess what I'm asking you is, what has Stetson Bennett done to prove that he can win this football game? Nothing. Like, even last year, and I know this is a long time ago, but he got a little bit injured in that Florida game, but even before, he didn't look very good. He didn't give them the best opportunity to win. I don't know why JT Daniels won't play in this football game. JT Daniels, I think, has more potential. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. I don't know. I think Michigan wins this game outright, and I don't really think it's that close. I think Georgia's going to have a tough time in this football game with Stetson Bennett at quarterback. That's just how I see it. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out tomorrow at 7:30. You can hear it right here on ESPN 690. It'll be after Cincinnati and Alabama. That one will be at 3:30. Coverage will start at 2:30. We got a lot more to do on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We got picks. We got the year in review to look at. I see some comments on the stream about the draft. Let me tell you something. I think Brian Middleton knows this. He might not. My friends know this. I don't even know if Brent Martineau knows this. The draft is my favorite holiday, the NFL draft. Yeah, that's real. So, but here's the thing. It feels absolutely wrong to talk about the draft without Austin Lane, the Shock Your Mock expert. So we'll have to debate that in the break, see if we can talk some draft without Austin Lane. I'll have to check with him. But I see a lot of comments about the draft, and at the end of the day, I know that's what we're playing for at this point in Jacksonville. We'll be back, though. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
Did anyone watch football last year and think, you know what, I think there's just too much taunting going on? These guys seem to be too excited when they make big plays, and every now and again, it seems to be in the face of their opponent. This does not have any impact on the competition of the game until you choose to make it so. And what I'm suggesting is don't choose that. Don't choose that.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Stop everything. Why? Because it's the final days of Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota. Don't wait. Make today the day to shop Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota with 300 new Toyotas available. And you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. Plus, every new car purchase at Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty, but you're running out of time. Only days remain until Toyotathon is gone. So stop everything and shop in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Hurry!
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to...
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
CMG Local Solutions. Visit cmglocalsolutions.com today.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
BC Powder knows life pushes us to the max. Work to the max. Family to the max. It can all mean pain to the max. So BC introduces new BC Max Strength. New BC Max relieves tough headaches and body pain at the speed of powder. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Pain to the max? New BC Max. In a great tasting lemonade flavor.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Couple minutes before the top of the hour, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton along for the early part of the day. He'll be back, though. Action Sports Jax overtime. We'll catch up with Brent Martineau here in a bit. But before we do that, just let you know what's going on. The programming on this station, ESPN 690. We're off tomorrow, but instead of us, you will hear the college football semifinal games, Cincinnati, Alabama, starting at 2:30. We'll roll right into Michigan and Georgia, and that one will roll pretty much all night. So you can just be locked into ESPN 690 if you are looking for the college football games. And as it is on all ESPN affiliates, the game will be on and there will be no blackout. So if you listen on the stream, as in ESPN690.com, and you are not in our viewing area, you usually would be blocked out for games like FSU or Westwood One coverage. You will not be blacked out for these games. So if you don't have a local ESPN affiliate that you know of, feel free to tune in, ESPN690.com. You'll be able to hear the games. That will be tomorrow. No Thursday night football tonight. That has ended, so just regular ESPN programming tonight. Saturday will be the return of FSU basketball, we think. It's been a minute since we've heard from FSU basketball. They've had, I believe, 3 or 4 straight games, including a game with the University of North Florida, postponed or canceled, I should say. They are scheduled to play some basketball tomorrow, on Saturday, I should say. They are scheduled to play at NC State. The coverage will start at 3:30. The game will tip off at 4. As of now, that one is still on, but a lot of games have been on, and then they get canceled right at the last second. So be on the lookout for that. We do expect to have some FSU basketball on Saturday, and then Sunday, we got Sunday Night Football. So a lot going on ESPN 690. And one thing we certainly never do on ESPN 690.
Ever.
As much as Austin Lane tries, we don't talk the NBA. We do not talk the NBA. And we have Brian Middleton in our hands, I guess I should say, right now. NBA wealth of knowledge.
Okay, Casey.
What's up?
Do you hear that? It's the sound of people. They turn into a new channel right there.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not, man. Listen, it's only for a couple of minutes. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So tell me what's going on, man. When you came in, I said, "What's up with the NBA?" You said the Lakers. I said the AARP squad. You laughed. LeBron's been like on fire, right? But they just can't win.
Yeah, man. Triple-double after triple-double. Also, it's the King's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you should wish him a happy birthday.
I'm good.
You know who else's birthday it is? I think you would know this one because you actually do follow this sport.
No.
Tiger Woods.
Ah.
Yeah.
Old Eldrick. I bet Brent Martin knew.
Yeah, Tiger Woods and LeBron James. Same birth date.
That is actually really interesting.
Yeah, should have been born
so
on
if you were born on this day, you're pretty much a winner in life then, huh?
Yeah, probably the best, if not the very best to ever do it.
Yeah, that's interesting. By the way, we'll talk in the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to do a look back at the year that was in sports, including Tiger Woods' car crash probably will make a topic of conversation in that one. It's hard to remember, but that was indeed this year. He's already back on the course. Obviously, he played with his son Charlie in the PNC Father-Son Challenge earlier this month, but it is some things. It's crazy. Like, I forgot that the Tiger Woods thing was this year, but indeed it was. It was in 2021. So me and Brent will do some of that in the 5 o'clock hour, but feel free, please continue on to tell me about the AARP squad.
Wow, okay.
The Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of good storylines in the NBA, but starting with the Lakers, you know, it's just not working the way it's constructed.
Shocker.
I mean, they don't have Anthony Davis, who, granted, is the youth of their starting five.
He has the oldest body on their team, right?
He's rickety, man.
Yeah.
You're blowing him wrong, and it's, it's over. Yeah, so, like, it's just they lost again to Memphis last night in a game that they were up double digits early on. And LeBron almost had a triple-double.
Okay.
He had 37 points. He hit eight three-pointers for, like, the first time in his career. On the eve of his 37th birthday. He was just getting busy on the court.
I guess so.
And, you know, it's one of these things when you watch the Lakers games, which, you know, I usually can't fit their whole games in. But, again, man, like, I try to catch as much NBA as possible. They are a different team when he's on the court. But once he gets off of the court, man, it's nothing. They can't do anything. They can't keep a lead. They can't stay in front of people. They're not a great defensive team anyway, but once he gets off the court, man, it's like, I don't care how much you're up by, the other team's going to make a run, and they're probably going to have the lead by the time you get out here, LeBron. So, you know, take some type of pre-workout or something like that. Try to keep your energy up because we need you to play all 48 minutes and every minute of overtime if we go into overtime.
Yeah.
Or else we don't have a chance. Now, they are the 7th seed in the Western Conference with a losing record. Go figure. And
the Western Conference was tougher for a long time, right?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's tough right now. I mean, they got the Warriors and the Suns. They're tied 27. I think it's like 27-7 are their records. And both of those teams are absolute just knockouts. You got Utah up there doing some things. The Grizzlies are actually a good team. But the fact that the Lakers had so much – there was a lot of criticism at the beginning of the season, granted, with the way that the team was constructed. When you have LeBron, then Russell Westbrook, you bring in Carmelo, you bring back in Dwight Howard. You have a lot of pieces that are good. You said it yourself before we got onto the show that if they were on 2K11, 2K12,
they'd be deadly.
Game time. Huh?
Yeah.
It's over with. Don't even come onto the court.
Oh, my goodness.
But, man, it really looks bad out there. And I don't know what you do before the trade deadline. Maybe they figure something out, but this season doesn't look good. Anthony Davis, whenever he gets back, I don't know if he's the answer because at this point in the maturation process with LeBron bringing in Anthony Davis, the thought process was, listen, at least by the time I'm 37 years old, you need to be the best player on this team.
Right.
And that way, I can still be LeBron James, the LeBron James that you see right now, but I can do that in crunch time. I can do that in April, May, and June, as opposed to having to do it in December, January, and February just to keep afloat. So I don't know exactly where the Lakers go from here, or the AARP squad. I don't know where they go from here. But, yeah, it's not looking good, and I'm not sure how long LeBron stays at this level, especially at 37 years old, man. It's so impressive.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the AARP squad. Let me ask you this. You said they're 7th in the Western Conference. Teams above them, Clippers, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Jazz, Suns, and Warriors in starting from 6-1. Behind them, you got the Mavs, you got the Timberwolves, you got the Spurs. Mavericks have been without Luka, right? That's kind of why they're struggling.
Yeah, I mean, but it's been one of those things where it's just like it just hasn't really quite fit. Even when he, was there, it was just So maybe it's one of these things that it was just a bit rocky. Now he's out. But, once that all comes back together, they can get some momentum, especially as you get into the springtime trying to roll for your playoff push. But, yeah, they're another team that hasn't lived up to expectations based off of last season's play.
Yo, the Magic are 7-28?
Yeah, that's old hat. Yeah.
What in the world?
They do that.
Why? Wait a minute. I know we got to go to break here in 1 second.
Yeah,
but
we got to go to break.
Yeah. Wait. Don't go yet. I got my eye on the clock. Here's the thing. Why are they bad? RJ Hampton, they have a bunch of guys that are supposed to be good, right? It just hasn't developed yet. And this guy, Franz Wagner, is that how you say it? Franz? That sounds right.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be the rookie of the year as of right now?
Hey, here's the deal, man, with the Magic. Let me just start right here.
Okay.
So when I was doing the Sports Center updates for our ESPN affiliate in Orlando, they weren't great, but you want to know who the head coach was? The head coach for the Lakers right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And he got fired.
Yep.
Because the team was basically right at or right under 500, winning 30-something games.
Frank Vogel. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, I was still covering it when they brought in Jonathan Isaacs, who was supposed to be that guy, and that hasn't been the case either.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what's wrong with Orlando. I don't follow anything with Orlando, and rightfully so. I know that they're 2 hours south of us, and if I was to have a team that wasn't the Miami Heat, it would probably be Orlando. I can't tell you what's wrong there other than it's probably like a Jaguar situation.
Uh-oh.
Just burn it down and start over again.
Oh, no. That's not what you want. That's definitely not what you want. By the way, that was NBA talk here on ESPN 690. We got more to do here. We got 2 hours more to do. A lot of questions about Doug Peterson. We have an update. It's a small one, but we can give that to you on the other side of the break. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Stick with us.
If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the easy garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit CoraPhysicalTherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
Nights of Lights dazzles with more than 3 million lights in the historic district of St. Augustine. Now imagine doubling those lights as they reflect off the water during your tour with Redboat Tours. Avoid downtown crowds by boarding at Beach's Restaurant Marina at 250 Volano Road. Then sit back and let Captain Tony and Miss Jennifer take you on a tour you'll never forget. Don't settle for imposters. Make no mistake, Redboat Tours is St. Augustine's only USA Today Reader's Choice Best Boat Tour 3 years running. Book your Nights of Lights tours now at redboattours.com.
Hey, this is Grace Gosted. I'm a singer-songwriter, and like many, I've been traumatized by years of bullying. You're ugly, you're stupid, you're gay, you're worthless. Bullying causes real harm and can result in severe long-term depression, anxiety, addiction, and even self-harm. I created the Black Box Project for anyone who has ever felt different for any reason. Go to theblackboxproject.org to help you take the first step to healing. You are not alone.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road Wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
The COVID-19 vaccine, there's so much news about it, but what's true and what's not? Before you pass on its protection, get all the facts. Elder Source can help with a free workshop given at your church or organization. Learn how the vaccine works, potential side effects, and where you can get a free one. Encourage your church or organization's leadership to book a free workshop by visiting myeldersource.org/COVID.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and
This is Sports Center.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Second quarter Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl on ESPN and ESPN Radio. Just started. Tennessee with a 21-7 lead on Purdue. That game's going to be followed by the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Pitt against Michigan State, again on ESPN and here on ESPN Radio. Meanwhile, back in Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger hinting at the inevitability that after 18 seasons with the Steelers, Monday night against Cleveland will be Big Ben's last game at home in Pittsburgh.
You know, looking at the bigger picture, I would say that all signs are pointing to this could be it. Regular season, that is. I know we still have a chance to potentially get a playoff game there if things fall our way and we take care of business and things have to happen. But in the grand scheme of things, in terms of regular seasons, signs are pointing that way. This could be it.
That's the Steelers' Ben Roethlisberger. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson didn't practice Thursday, a day after he limped badly in his return to the practice field Wednesday. He's been out 2 games dealing with a right ankle injury.
It's Keith from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, hoping you're spending as much time with your wonderful family as possible. When the calendar turns to 2022, we'll be right here talking about the NFL playoff picture. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, you know, I made reference to this. I think he's been really seeing the field really well. I mean, he threw the ball well down the field last week. He's making good decisions when the defense is kind of getting out of there. He's taking the underneath throws. He's showing some maturity, and I thought it was very evident in the 2-minute drive late in the game where he got us down in a position to go win the game. So he's learning so much. He's maturing, and again, I have no question he's going to be a great player in this league.
Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer right there. New, sort of, offensive coordinator, sort of, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Talking about Trevor Lawrence, who I wonder when this is all said and done, and I don't know when that will be, but I wonder when Trevor Lawrence gets to a point where he is in his NFL career and can look back on whatever the heck happened in 2021 and think about how it made him better, maybe as a person, sure, as a football player, absolutely. Just in general, what he's gone through in 2021. I can tell you this, and he's said this, I can promise you Trevor Lawrence didn't see any of this coming. When Urban Meyer was standing 27 centimeters away from him at Pro Day, he didn't see this coming. I can guarantee you that. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton in with me today, Casey Kurtz, Brent Martineau will be with us shortly. We got picks to make when Brent gets here. We've got a year in review to look back at. But if you've seen Brent on Twitter, hopefully you're not driving, but maybe check the traffic before you go places. That's all I'm saying. Brent had no choice, but you do have an option if you need to go places. Be sure to check that traffic. Pretty sure you can get that on 104.5 WOKV. You like that?
Casey Kurtz will promote anything, man.
Anything.
My goodness. All right. Now you're doing traffic reports.
I think I'd be good at traffic.
You would.
You did traffic, right? That was your thing.
Yeah, I did, man. You could get sarcastic with it, and no one can do anything because you have the microphone. Just saying.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we got now. And that what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the Jags. We do that. But the question on everybody's mind, Doug Peterson, obviously it was reported that he would interview on Thursday to be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, today is Thursday. Josina Anderson of ESPN reports, Jaguars beginning extensive search for a new head coach. That includes former Eagles head coach Doug Peterson, who is expected to meet in person, which is interesting. I thought it was going to be like a Zoom thing. Apparently, it's indeed in person with Shad Khan and Doug Peterson. We've talked about this a lot, folks, but frankly, at the end of the day, that's really all we have to look forward to. Who's going to be the coach? Who are they going to draft? Doug Peterson, to me, and Brent said this yesterday, when you go into the meeting, which now it appears that there was an indeed in-person meeting, all he has to do is show Shad Khan that Super Bowl ring and more or less say, kiss the ring, and Shad Khan should at least respect that. So I guess the question I'll ask you, Brian Middleton, since the listeners know my opinion, which I'll give in a second. They know Brent's opinion. They know Austin's opinion. Doug Peterson, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, your immediate reaction would be what?
I guess.
Interesting.
It can't be any worse than what you just had. And so that's a plus. And you could potentially be getting somebody who has done it and has done it recently. Like, this isn't from 15 years ago or 20 years ago, this championship, Super Bowl championship win as a coach, right? So there is something to that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
And here's also the deal, right? So you got to ask yourself, is Doug Peterson the guy who is going to be the right fit for Trevor? Right?
Yeah.
Because, again, that's your biggest investment. Is he going to be the guy that's going to shepherd Trevor from rookie to All-Pro to Super Bowl champion? Can he do that? Has he shown in his previous stops that he can either do it directly or put other people in place, both from his coaching staff and from the players that he puts around him, and coach him up so that he can actually realize, so we all can realize the potential we all believe that Trevor has? And so you're right. That Super Bowl ring does a lot because you can't take that away. And that's something that everybody's going for. So when you say kiss the ring, kind of tongue in cheek, but yeah, you can wear that and say, like, I know how to do this. Regardless of any other losing seasons or any other way that I actually exited the Philadelphia Eagles and any other stop that may have been a stain, I have proven that I can do this in today's NFL. So, I say, but, it's better than what you had. So there's something there.
Yeah. No, it's a good call. And I think it's interesting that you bring up the part of Trevor Lawrence because the way there's a couple ways to look at it, but one that I look at it is that Eagles team that won the Super Bowl, did not have a ton of talent. We went through that yesterday. We'll go through that in a second. But there was a time, folks, and you may remember this because it was only 2016. I remember this. Carson Wentz got picked second overall in the draft. Okay. Then there was a time, this was 2017, in which Carson Wentz was 11-2 as a starting quarterback with 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions and 3,200 yards in 13 games. He did that under Doug Peterson. So, can he develop a quarterback? It looked like he was on the way to doing that with Carson Wentz. Obviously, the injuries played a part, and then obviously in 2020, didn't work. But he was looking like he was going to be a very solid NFL quarterback. So, and by the way, if we're just spitballing here, and this is pretty obvious, but I guess I should say it, Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence, we know who has had the higher ceiling coming out of the draft. That's Trevor Lawrence. So you have to look at what he did with Carson Wentz immediately, in my opinion, and think, hey, there were some good things going on there, and you can bring that over. Then you go to the Super Bowl part of it for me. Nick Foles takes over. They win football games. They win the Super Bowl. Here's the thing, though, Brian Middleton. This is who they won the Super Bowl with. Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, LeGarrette Blount. Love LeGarrette Blount, but LeGarrette Blount. Corey Clement, Jay Ajayi, Torrey Smith, Zach Ertz, very good, don't get me wrong. But do any of those names, are any of those guys anything other than just a guy? Like, that was kind of the point I was making yesterday with Brent, where you have Marvin Jones. You have James O'Shaughnessy. You have James Robinson, who's very good, but is going to be hurt. So you're obviously going to be looking at another running back in the situation. You're going to have to bring in other wide receivers. But to me, that screams out just a guy. That's what Doug Peterson had, and they won the Super Bowl. And I know what you're going to say. That defense, they were good on defense. That's why they won the Super Bowl. Agreed. They had the fourth best defense in the league that year. They also scored the third most points in the NFL with those guys. You have a guy that developed Carson Wentz and made Alshon Jeffrey and the boys a Super Bowl winning team? Come on. It's Alshon Jeffrey. It's Aguilar.
Whoa. Listen, just to put a pin in your point. Alshon Jeffrey, we all know where he went to school at, right? You know where he went to school at.
I mean, I don't remember.
University of South Carolina, located in Columbia, South Carolina.
He did, that's
He's
right.
not just a guy, he's a Gamecock. He's a Pro Bowler, by the way. I can't remember the year, but he was a Pro Bowler on the Chicago Bears. He's not just a guy.
Yep, there it is.
He came back from injury.
Pro Bowl. Let's find out.
He's a Super Bowl champ. You will not disrespect another Gamecock in my presence, sir.
Hey, I'm going to disrespect him right here because here's the thing, Alshon Jeffrey. The very next year, almost the exact same thing played out, except Carson Wentz was not playing well. He gets injured. Nick Foles comes in, and we talked about this yesterday. From Thanksgiving on, the next season, which would be the 2018 season, the Eagles won, I believe they were 5-1 down the stretch, or 4-1, get into the playoffs, beat the Bears on the double doink field goal from Cody Parkey, and then Nick Foles is leading them down the field to beat the Saints in New Orleans. Alshon Jeffrey, close the hands.
Here's the deal.
You remember that?
Here's the deal.
Oh, my goodness.
The Jacksonville Jaguars would kill to have Alshon Jeffrey. Not today. Today's Alshon Jeffrey. Not 2013, 2016. I'm talking about today, 2021 Alshon Jeffrey. Today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
What's your point?
My point, that point was to disrespect Alshon Jeffrey. True. But the point was, it didn't end well in Philadelphia for Doug Peterson. Okay, that's fair and good. But he has a statue. You know what I'm saying? The Jags signed a quarterback for like $80-something million solely because he won the Super Bowl for Doug Peterson. Like, look, if Doug Peterson wants to coach the Jacksonville Jaguars, they should hire him. It's that simple. But we know things aren't that simple here in Jacksonville. That's not really how things work. So, Brian Middleton, by the way, Brian Middleton, Casey Kurtz, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau will be along here in a bit, and we'll look back at the year that was in 2021. But, Brian Middleton, Doug Peterson has interviewed a lot of other candidates on the list, and we'll start with one that said thanks, no thanks. And me and Brent, we had some ideas on why this happened. Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, hit him with a thanks, no thanks.
Yeah.
I don't need to interview.
Yeah.
And we're pretty much looking for all reasons why that might have been. Do you have one?
Let's see. So Dan Quinn. You could go the route that, listen, even if I am Shad Khan, the owner, and I am trying to make a decision on the next head man of my team, and I want the best candidate, the next point would be, can they make sure that Trevor realizes his potential? And so with Dan Quinn, he was the Falcons?
Yeah.
Did I get it right? The Falcons, 28-3? 28-3 Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, 28-3 Quinn. Here's the deal, man. I know he got an MVP out of Matt Ryan, but I don't know how much of that was him. I mean, Matt Ryan was already kind of on that ascension before he even got there.
Right.
But he's a defensive coordinator, and I got to be real with you. I think that the next head man at Jacksonville will be an offensive coordinator or somebody who's more offensive minded.
Yeah.
I think that that's just going to have to be the route because you're going to have to do everything you can to ensure the success for Trevor. Because as Trevor goes, the Jags go. And so he may have seen that, number one, and said, I'm good. The more realistic option is probably, he's like, I just don't want to come to Jacksonville because there's probably going to be another team that I would rather go to, and Jacksonville is it's a lot. It's a lot to come and take on, you know?
Yeah.
So it could be that as well. He's just picking the best opportunity for him. But even if he had interviewed, I don't think he would have had a chance, honestly, to get the next head coaching position here.
Yeah, that's fair. So in our coaching search that we're doing right now, Doug Peterson obviously fits what you want there as a guy that can develop Trevor Lawrence. So let's rule out the defense and let's look at guys like Kellen Moore and Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich is a popular name around here. Everybody seems to have it's weird. I know obviously former quarterback for the Jags and all that, works with Tom Brady. Everyone seems to have an opinion on Byron Leftwich. I would rather them hire Doug Peterson or Jim Caldwell. That's my opinion on it. I just think you're better suited to hire an older coach that's been around, that's seen some things. Byron Leftwich, does he do anything for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a semi-splash type of hire, honestly. It's a big enough name that we all know about. He already has ties to the Jags from his playing days. He obviously has found success in the coaching ranks. He has a Super Bowl now from last season.
Right.
So, I mean, he has all of the boxes that you would seemingly have to tick off for the fan base here and hopefully for, the ownership in the front office to say, like, okay, this is the guy that we're going to entrust for hopefully the next 5 to 10 years. So, yeah, I mean, Byron Leftwich, I could live with that.
Interesting. We got some people weighing in.
Are you seeing that? Yeah.
We got a Leftwich in all caps, Leftwich, ... no, and some exclamations, a few of them.
I believe it's about 7 of them. I think I was trying to count on the fly. 7 exclamation points.
A lot of exclamations there, by the way. Trevor on Twitter says, for Doug Peterson, is Doug Peterson a good fit with Trevor Lawrence? Trevor says yes. G.I. Joe says yes, he's the best option. He will be the Jags coach. You read it here first. So that's interesting. Feel free to weigh in, by the way.
Did you see the question right above about Chark?
I did. I wrote that down. I was going to get to that after I asked you about Kellen Moore, because Kellen Moore is the other interesting option here if you're looking at young, up-and-coming, offensive-minded coach. And, yeah, that Kellen Moore, Boise State, the good old Statue of Liberty play, and then the dude proposes to his girlfriend. What a moment, by the way. Not Kellen Moore. But Kellen Moore, an interesting name. They got a lot of talent on that Dallas Cowboy offense that sometimes goes and sometimes doesn't, which worries me. But at the end of the day, nothing against Kellen Moore. He might be a great head coach. He might not. I just don't think he should be the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, man. I'm looking at Kellen Moore. Wow. Kellen Moore is only a few years older than me, man. What am I doing with my life? Huh? When you see that.
Right now, You're on ESPN 690, Action Sports Jax.
Yeah, you know what? That's a win. Yeah. Wow, he's the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, would he make a good hire? It's all relative. Would I pick him over Doug Peterson? No. Yeah. But I would put him on the same level as Leftwich as far as, to me,
sure.
Do I think he ticks off enough boxes for today's NFL and the head coach, and you want to make a splash, and he hopefully can prove that he can, bring Trevor up? Yeah, sure. That's fine. But he doesn't jump Doug Peterson for me.
No, agreed. So, all right, I guess so Jim Caldwell or Doug Peterson? I guess I haven't asked you that one yet.
That's a good one. That's a tougher one. I'd have to think about that one for a second.
All right.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that one.
Well, so I guess, look, Doug Peterson, what we do know is he interviewed today in person with Shad Khan. We'll have to find out.
Do you think that Shad asked Trevor anything about this? Not that Trevor has say-so, but do you think that he at least weighs in, just like, hey, this is what we did. We talked with him. What do you think?
So it's tough. Like, I'm sure, at the end of the day, Trevor probably should at least get to, I'm not saying he should hire the coach, but I'm saying they should at least ask him what's up. And I believe that that will be the case. There were, I believe there were some reports about that in some previous weeks. But it's tough with the new rule because Trevor's focus, first of all, today is how he's not going to get killed by Matt Judon and the Patriots when he has no offensive line. That's probably number one concern. And with the new rule where you can interview the coaches now versus the end of the season, Trevor's got some things to, focus on. So how much say does Trevor have during the season? Probably none, to be honest. I mean, maybe, a quick text like, hey, how you feeling? Trevor be like, scared. But, it is what it is. I think there is Trevor should have definitely some opinion because at the end of the day, let's be honest, Jacksonville, Trevor's all we got. That is.
Wow. That's optimistic.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Just saying.
Love Josh Allen. Very good player. Trevor's all we got. Okay?
Whoa.
If they want to pay Josh Allen, which they should, and keep him on the defense, I'd be a big fan of it. But Trevor's all we got. And Trevor should have a say how much. He shouldn't get to overall pick the coach because he could make a mistake. He's a young guy. He's been in the league for, 15 games? Going on 16 or with the bye week. I don't know. I can't do math on the fly. I can't even do it with paper and pencil. But at the end of the day, Trevor should have some say. We got more to do. I do want to address that comment from YouTube. Pretty much what the question was DJ Chark, Cam Robinson, Andrew Norwell. Who should come back? Who would you bring back? We're definitely going to get into that next. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Continued unseasonably warm with partly to mostly sunny skies today. Highs in the low to mid-80s, dropping only into the low 60s tonight, and a partly sunny and very warm Friday. Highs tomorrow near records at 80 to 85, setting up a very mild New Year's Eve night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings, newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at actionsportsjaxdream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to actionsportsjaxdream18.com.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road in a new 2021 Toyota. So rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
This holiday season, the law firm of Anajar and Levine wants you to remember the reason for the season. Celebrate the love for your family, friends, and neighbors today, and truly enjoy the day and each other. Happy holidays and Happy New Year from the law firm of Anajar and Levine.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. Whether you want to learn Spanish for future travel plans, French to connect with extended family, or maybe German to land a new job, Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you'll actually use. All you need is 15 minutes a day, and you'll be on your way to confidently speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel is designed by real language experts using a modern, conversation-based technique that makes learning fun, engaging, and best of all, memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then sentences gradually get more complex. Soon you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. And with 14 languages to choose from and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll be sure to learn what matters most to you. Babbel, language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
You know, I had a little bit of practice last year. We had 35 players in the span of a week when I was in Baltimore get on the COVID reserve list, and they kept delaying the game. So our Thanksgiving night game versus Pittsburgh wasn't played till the next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And we didn't know who we were going to have, who was coming off the list. And we ended up I believe we had one starter in the front seven, and the guys that played, we had our backup quarterback. The guys that played battled their tails off. We lost the game 19-14. It was at Pittsburgh, but it gave guys an opportunity, and it gave guys a chance to show who they were.
Joe Cullen right there, Jacksonville Jaguars defensive coordinator, and that's an interesting perspective to have in this situation where the Jags, I can't even imagine what it looks like at practice. There's like 5 guys out there probably. I mean, what a disaster. Obviously, nothing can be done. You know, the guys that are vaccinated, whatever, not vaccinated, you have the protocols in place to keep everybody safe and healthy. Hopefully that will work out. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a rough one if the Jags play on Sunday. Casey Kurtz, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton will be back in a little bit. We got some Action Sports Jax overtime coming up. We got a new thing we're going to do on that show. That'll be at 6 o'clock right after this one. But we traded him out. No disrespect to Brian Middleton. Love the guy. But we traded him out for Brent Martineau, otherwise known as the boss, the head man, the head honcho. Brent, how's your day been going? I think it's been interesting to say the least. It reminds me of when I went to Houston. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I was thinking of you today with the Houston stuff, and that's why I can't complain that much. You should get annoyed and angry, Brent, but you're really not going to. It is what it is. It happens. We travel a bunch, and I can't remember really the last time I've been stuck. So knock on wood, that's pretty good. But we had some weather in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, it was up at 5:30. We left at 7. Should be plenty of time. Supposed to land at 11 here in Jacksonville. A little layover in Atlanta. But what happened was the weather kept us on the tarmac for an hour in Columbus. Then lightning in Atlanta kept us on the tarmac for 45 more minutes. And then I missed my flight by 5 minutes. So I just got in about 3 o'clock, and now I've been sitting through 2 traffic jams here in Jacksonville. Aren't you guys all supposed to be taking the week off? Why are you driving?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough situation. But, hey, we've all been there. I've been there. And, hey, you'll get through it. I'm surprised, though, they didn't stop the plane for you. I'm surprised you didn't pull
me too.
Yeah, you're like, do you know who I am? Have you seen my Twitter?
I thought they were delayed, too, because they obviously had weather, but they were just not delayed enough. And I thought they might hold it, but I don't think there were enough people from Columbus going on that flight going to Jacksonville. So, in fact, I think I might have been the only one because I never saw anybody else kind of, in my same area as we're trying to fix everything. So, overall, it was decent. Watched a little Yellowstone in the airport, got a little work done, start peeking ahead at the first quarter of next year, where we're going, what we're doing. Got a little baseball and softball on the calendars for the spring and summer. I mean, listen, it's all good. Now, let me get this out of the way, because we've done this before. We've done shows like this before, where the airport is amazing to me. And I came up with an idea today in the airport, and I'm not doing it. It sounds like a hell of a lot of work, and I'm not sure I'm creative enough for it. And maybe something's been done on it. I was initially thinking, I was like, there needs to be a movie in an airport setting that and I'm like, well, there's certainly been movies in airport settings, but like, I'm talking that just stays in the airport setting the whole time. So then I'm like, I think it's more documentary. I think it's a documentary in an airport setting, how there's just this convergence of life. It's great people watching.
Yeah.
It's a melting pot of people. Shapes, sizes, backgrounds, everything. It is really what brings, I think, the good in people out, and also it tells me who you are as a person sometimes when you're in the airport.
That's like a super deep thought. I know you had plenty of time to think about it, but that is a fascinating concept. Probably more documentary, but the airport is an interesting place.
I think it is. I think it would be a fantastic documentary just to, the whole thing just takes place in the airport. And you have all these different things. You have people going berserk. You have people being very nice. You have people I saw a sweatshirt said, there are 2 sweatshirts within 5 minutes. One said humble and one said humankind or something. And I was like, I'm not sure this is the place for it, but at least you have some of that.
Right.
And then, of course, you get the thing. We can do this whole, is there a podcast out on people getting up on the plane from behind you and getting in front of you? I know everybody can't stand it. But the bottom line is, here's where I sit now on this. And I've hated it for a while. There are some things I don't understand about flying anyway, and I've gone on these soapboxes. But this one I think we all agree on. We hate the people that come from behind like they're better than everybody else.
Yep.
And they've got listen, I was about to miss my connection. I did miss my connection. Why do I have 5 people now ahead of me that were behind me? Why is that?
It's a great call.
Because you think you're more important. You think you're better than me. You think you're better than everybody in front. If you want to be up there, go pay for first class.
There you go.
Right?
Let them know.
So the bottom line is, I have now concluded, and just everybody look in the mirror now, if you're this person, that you're a bad person. You're a bad person. If you now jump in front of everybody from behind the plane. Because every single person you jump in front of wants to throat punch you.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And they don't, because they're better people.
What an interesting take, but it's accurate.
I might have given a little hip check to a guy that was trying to do it. I was like, listen, I've seen 3 people do this already, and you're not it, buddy.
There you go.
So I'm gonna just wiggle in here a little bit. Not that I really needed to. I mean, it wasn't gonna make a difference. So anyway, it just when you're in the airport for a long time, it brings out those emotions, and that is the one thing I think that gets. I'm telling you, you're a bad person if you do that. So anyway, if you're driving home, if you listen to the show, and if you've done that before, yeah, I'm calling you a bad person, and be better.
That's Brent Martineau for you right there, who's had a tough day at the airport. And Brent, you had the segue of all segues yesterday. I think I've got one for you here. You spent a lot of time in airports today. Did you see anybody that could potentially suit up for the Jags on Sunday, either coming into Jacksonville or at any other airport? Because they're going to need some help.
Yeah, they might need some help. You're right. Well, here's the segue of getting to where you need to go with this topic. I did not see DJ Chark, Cam Robinson, or Andrew Norwell out of Jacksonville yet.
That is a good point. So,
and I know you asked, will they be around in 2022? But there probably were several people in the airport that could have played on the offensive line for the Jags today. I should have recruited them.
Yeah, I don't know what you could have done there, but we definitely could have used that, especially if the Jags want to play football on Sunday. So, yeah, back to what you just mentioned. Had a comment on YouTube, and the conversation continues, by the way. Jump into the YouTube if you like Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 or just Action Sports Jax on YouTube. You'll be able to find it and comment along. But DJ Chark, Andrew Norwell, Cam Robinson, should they come back? Should the Jags break the bank, spend the bag, do what they need to do? And Brent, I know you feel maybe differently, but I think you can't afford to let a guy like DJ Chark go when you have the situation you have in the wide receiver room right now.
That's a really interesting scenario, I think, for the Jags. A lot of this depends on what they do in free agency, less on what they do in the draft. But what do they do in free agency? Do they go get a top-flight receiver? Is that then do you then use some of that money you would have spent on DJ Chark and you just put it toward Devontae Adams, right, or Michael Gallup, or whatever it is? And so now what we'd love to do is have both. But I don't know if that's feasible, right? I don't know if that's fiscally responsible. You're not just going to – I've said this before. Like, they allot money toward positions. You're not going to go spend $40 million or $30 million or $35 million on 2 guys in the wide receiver position. You might do that for the whole group, but not 2 guys, I don't think. And so do you franchise tag? Well, has he earned a franchise tag? It buys you another year. That gives you some power. You don't have to negotiate. So I wouldn't hate it. Probably not the worst move. He's a talented guy, but he's really only had 1 good year. And he's going to be coming off a pretty significant injury. And I love DJ, by the way. I'd love for him to be a part of this. And I have hopes for him to be really good. And I hate to see him go walk because then I think he might be good for somebody else. Like, he's talented. And the other thing is, can you give him on a show-me deal? Can you come to terms with him on a moderate 2-year deal or even a 1-year deal that says, hey, show us what you got so you can go make big bucks either here or somewhere else. But we don't want to franchise tag you, but we want to keep you. And so I think that's where it comes down on DJ Chark. It's going to be really hard to predict this one because we don't know how they feel from a negotiation standpoint. And I think we'll have to see what his market is elsewhere. Is somebody else willing to take a chance and give more money to DJ Chark? I think it's a tough one. I don't think that's a no-brainer in terms of you're not going to throw the bank at DJ Chark. He hasn't done enough. That doesn't make sense. But he really, again, he's one of the guys that scares me a little bit if he gets away from here and you're like, wait a minute. You drafted this guy in the 2nd round. You helped develop the guy. Yeah, he got hurt in his final year of a contract, but now you're not going to keep him? Isn't that the problem we have around here in Jacksonville? Like, you're not keeping guys that you're developing? I think the Jags have to be very careful of that with DJ, more so than, say, a Cam Robinson, who you're going to talk about next.
Yeah, I think, and that is very true. That is what we're going to talk about. Cam Robinson, I think, is a tougher situation. Obviously, you have Walker Little, who you think is going to be the next left tackle of the Jags. So the question that I guess the Jags have to answer is, do you want to admit that you shouldn't have potentially drafted Walker Little where you did, or do you pay Cam Robinson? And when you look at Norwell as well, I think if you let Norwell go, do you trust a guy like Ben Barch to take over in the full-time, or Will Richardson, or you draft somebody, whatever you do? But the thing that I keep coming to terms with, Brent, is grass isn't always greener on the other side, and you might find that out if you let those guys go.
It's a very good point what you just said there. That's pretty astute, too, and I think that's the way they talk inside the building. Now, let's go Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson isn't coming back to me. He doesn't make sense to come back. I think Cam Robinson, by the way, has had himself a nice year. But are you willing to invest some $15, $16, $17 million a year like some team is going to do and offer to Cam over 5 years? So some crazy number for a left tackle when he's been very inconsistent, and you have a guy right behind him that you like. Like, you really think this guy's a first-round kind of talent guy in Walker Little. I think you take advantage as a football team of what you're doing right now at the quarterback position. You have a young quarterback on a very reasonable deal because it's a rookie contract. Well, why don't you treat the left tackle position the same way? I don't think we're talking about Cam Robinson being Tony Vaselli or Trent Williams or any of those kind of guys, right? I mean, we don't know that about Cam. It's not that much of a slam dunk. So right now I would say, hey, let's save some of the money there and go with the guy we drafted. We've got a young guy. We like him. We think he can be good. We've got a guy ready to play that position. So I would say Cam Robinson, in my opinion, I think he's like 98% gone. And by the way, did a good job to earn himself some money. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. I think the Jags did what they were supposed to do. I think they franchised him, gave themselves an option, but now they have a young player that they think probably can take his spot, even though you can argue Cam's about to go into the prime of his career. So the only way this makes sense is to sign Cam Robinson and move Walker Little to right tackle. That's the only way it makes sense. And I just don't see him doing that. I think they're a little reluctant to do that. And so I don't think they're going to move Walker Little. I think he'll be the left tackle of the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2022. And then that leads you to Norwell. And Norwell, to me, is exactly what you just said. He's expensive, so if you want to save a few bucks, you certainly could. But who are you replacing him with? I don't think the Jags have gotten the Andrew Norwell that is the All-Pro from Carolina. But if you can – he's still a pretty good player. And this is where, like what you said, it matters. Who's the guy taking his place? And how much of a drop-off is there? Remember, you still have a franchise quarterback you're trying to protect. And so I think Norwell is a tricky one. Could they ask him to redo that contract again? They already did this past year. And has he earned what he's making? Probably not, but you can do worse. And depending on what they do, like I don't want Will Richardson, I don't think, playing left guard instead of Andrew Norwell.
No.
If you have a right guard that you find, but you have Ben Barch, maybe I could consider that. You invested in that. He's got some experience now. I could probably sign up for that to save the amount of dollars you're going to save. But I think Andrew Norwell is still a pretty valuable piece of the offensive line. And we've noticed when he's really messed up, but he's also been pretty good over time if you look at the percentage of plays he's been good on.
Yeah, for sure. I think you got to be careful. I don't want Trevor Lawrence to play football this week because of what might be on the offensive line. And if you try to rebuild rebuild in a sense, obviously Walker Little's not a starter, so I'm going to count it as rebuilding. But you rebuild the whole left side behind the first-year quarterback who obviously had a rough time as a rookie year. That scares me. Brent, let me ask you this real quick on the free agent part of this. Another name that I've seen on the stream, I've seen on Twitter, and it's out there, is Mike Williams. And he compares to DJ Chark in the sense of the injuries are there, and Mike Williams is a name, but the big year hasn't really found Mike Williams. He's having a nice year this year, 7 touchdowns, 964 yards. But in his career, he's only gone over 1,000 yards once, and it was literally 1,001 yard, and he only scored 2 touchdowns. So he either scores touchdowns or he doesn't get the yards. You would imagine he's not getting a deal like Gallup. I think it'll be closer to a Chark deal. If it's one or the other, you stay with Chark because you drafted him, or you look at Mike Williams?
Oh, if it's one or the other, I'm probably leaning toward a cheaper Chark. Mike Williams is intriguing to me. Who's faster, by the way, Mike Williams or Michael Gallup? Gallup, right?
I believe Gallup, yeah. Mike Williams is big, 6'4", 220.
Yeah, he's a big guy, but he can. I mean, so is DJ. You're right.
Yeah,
DJ's a big guy, and he can run. And so, I think what you said about Mike Williams is some inconsistencies, and also you got to remember now he's playing with some pretty good quarterbacks over the year, from Phillip Rivers to now Herbert to also Keenan Allen, and some pretty good weapons. So I think it's a little buyer beware on him. It's always buyer beware on the free agents, and you always ask your question: why are they letting him go? If he's that valuable, why are they willing to let him go? Is it because they just can't afford him? They're too crowded at a position? Okay, that's one thing. Is it because they really don't want to offer that kind of money? Well, they've seen him up close every day for years. So I think that's what makes free agency interesting. I would, given that situation, you tell me Mike Williams or DJ Chark, I'd rather take a flyer on DJ Chark. He's homegrown. I like to see where his potential could go.
Yeah, I absolutely.
And cheaper.
Yeah, I absolutely agree there as well. I think you have to see what you have in DJ. You think you know what you have. Obviously, a new regime will play a part in that, what they think of DJ Chark, obviously. But you drafted him, and at some point you can't. You got to sign some of these people that you drafted, Brent. You can't just all let them leave. I know you feel that. That's definitely how I feel. We got more to do here on ESPN 690 Action Sports Jax. We got Brent. We'll be with Brent for a little bit. We got picks to make. We got a year in review to look at. We got all kinds of things to do before 6 o'clock. Stick with us, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. This is Action Sports Jax.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to doing the anatomy of the screenplay. I mean, what the hell? I mean, why can't we run a screen in Jacksonville for 14 years since I've been here? 14 freaking years we can't run a screenplay. And then on defense, we can't stop the damn thing. They can't stop a screenplay. We can't run a screenplay. What is going on in Jacksonville? I mean, it's unbelievable. They run screenplays in high school. You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings, newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at actionsportsjaxdream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to actionsportsjaxdream18.com.
Florida children are eligible for head-to-toe coverage through the Florida Kid Care Program, which is high-quality, affordable health and dental coverage with cost as low as $15 a month. To assist families applying for Florida Kid Care or Medicaid and increase enrollment in the Florida Kid Care Program, the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital offers free application assistance. For appointments, call 904-202-WELL. That's 904-202-9355. Habla Español.
You almost missed it. It's the final days to get Toyotathon savings even on used. Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas. You'll find all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's 300 used available. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. It's the final days of Toyotathon even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Before the long road trip,
before the big game, before the morning workout. Start with 5-Hour Energy. It fixes tired fast and helps you feel alert, energized, and ready to tackle whatever's on your agenda. Even
Hey babe, the sink is clogged.
the weekend honey-do list. 5-Hour Energy. It's the one when you gotta get stuff done. Pick up some today. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal? Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Being a CFP is where you want to be. You know, all the tactical motivation techniques you have for whether it's Texas, Baylor, or Cincinnati in one of the New Year's Six Bowls certainly creates a different kind of energy than this. This being in the CFP is, I mean, we really, when you pan the room, I think we've got, I don't know exactly how many, but, you know, 2 or 3 guys that can even remember being in that CFP and know what that was like. And when you look at those guys, they embrace that. They've been hungry for that opportunity.
That is Kirby Smart. Big one tomorrow for Kirby against Jim Harbaugh. 2 coaches that really could elevate their status with a national championship, right? I mean, you talk, Harbaugh could really do some like major, I mean, went to a Super Bowl. They did not win. He lost to his brother. And he's done good things at Michigan, but finally to beat Ohio State. And then could you finally win a national title? Wow. Like, I don't give him a very good chance to do so, I don't think. But could he do it, right, with all the preparation time? And Kirby Smart, it's all he's got left. Like, he's already been here. He's knocked on the door of the SEC championship, won the SEC championship. He's been the king of the East most, for the last however many years. He's beaten Florida. He is number 1 recruiting class, number 2 recruiting class, and number 3 recruiting class. He's getting 5 stars left and right. I mean, he's built it. He really has. But you got to get it done, or you're always going to be asked if you can get it done. And that last step is really hard. They'll go tomorrow against Michigan, and obviously it's Cincinnati against Alabama, looking for a big upset. Do they have a chance? Let's do some picks. Let's roll it out. Brent Martineau, I'm back out of the car now, and we got the final hour with Casey Kurtz. Thanks to Casey and Brian Middleton for holding it down while we had a little travel issues. But let's get after this week 17. That's usually the last week of the NFL. There will be another one, Casey Kurtz. And then, of course, we got the 2 big college football games tomorrow, along with the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl right here in Jacksonville. That will be Rutgers and Wake Forest, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was trying to find a line on the Gator Bowl, but they don't have it. I don't know if that has to do with the cancellation. I don't know if it's just where I looked, I couldn't find it. But nevertheless, we won't make that in. But we will get this one in. Usually don't like the double-digit point spreads, but we're doing it. I made the rules. Nobody pushed back, so we're doing it. Cincinnati plus 13.5 at Alabama, minus 13.5. I talked about earlier. I really have no idea what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to go last. Austin Lane will go with Alabama, and Brent Martineau will go with what?
I'm going to go with Alabama, too. I really would like to see Cincinnati play well in this game, but I just don't think it's a smart bet going Cincinnati, because it's all or nothing, right? I mean, if this thing doesn't work, and you'll know in the first 10 minutes potentially, if it doesn't work and it's like a mismatch, and this is why people don't want to see this, there is that threat. There's blowout threat. Now, there's blowout threat in every game, but there's real blowout threat here. And I don't know, man, Nick Saban having the chance, they come off that big game, they played their best football. Did they find something, or was it just a matchup thing against Georgia, just one of those days? I think this will tell the story, and I got a feeling Alabama's going to roll them. I don't want to see that. Listen, it's one thing. It'd be real hard to see an upset here, but I'd love to see Cincinnati hang and play tough, and I know they think they can. I don't know if they can. I got Alabama. And also, Brandon, let me get Brandon. I know he came in here too, and He's not on with us today. He's got Cincinnati, so he's getting the points with Cincinnati.
Interesting. Well, it works out that I can kind of play defense here, obviously with a slim lead over Austin Lane, even slimmer as the days go by. I'll play defense. I'll take Alabama, although I'd love to be wrong because I'd like to see Cincinnati play well. We got Michigan plus 7.5, Georgia minus 7.5, Brent. Austin Lane is picking Michigan. I'm picking Michigan to straight up win the football game.
Wow.
So the 7.5 is a no-brainer. What say you?
Well, Brandon Poncel's going Michigan too, and I think a lot of people are. I think this was 7.5 down to 7. I've got Georgia. Listen, Georgia's really good. Really, really good. Is Michigan ready for this? I don't know. I just think Georgia is, if not the best team in the country, they're the second best team in the country behind Alabama, and I don't think Michigan's in that class. I think there's a drop-off, so we're going to see it. I think Georgia gets it done. I think Kirby knows how to prep for this even more so than Harbaugh, believe it or not. And so I've got game picker-upper right there, baby.
Yeah.
And I'll take Georgia.
All right, fair enough. We'll move to the NFL. We got the Chiefs in an interesting game, -5 at the Bengals, +5. Austin Lane is going with Kansas City. What say you?
Yeah, Brendan has Bengals, by the way, and so do I. I actually think this is a huge game for Cincy, and I'm not sure it really is anymore for it could be a big game, but they've got the number 1 seed by at least, I think it's 2 games now, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So, or maybe it's 1 over Tennessee. Maybe just 1 over Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot Tennessee won.
Beat them. So there is still, there's still a lot to play for. I just think there's more to play for Cincy. So you're giving me some points on top of this. They've been so good lately, Kansas City. I'm not sure they'll keep it up. I think they have a little bit of a slip game, and I think Cincinnati takes advantage, at least to keep it close, if not even win it.
Interesting. Last 3 games for Kansas City, 48-9, 34-28, and 36-10. They saved me last week. I'll go Kansas City again.
They've been good.
Yeah, they have. All right, we got the Dolphins going for 8 in a row, +3.5 at the Titans, -3.5, Brent.
Yeah, I think this is the first time the Dolphins have actually played a team that can win, that knows how to win. And I think being at Tennessee, this could be a tough one for the Dolphins. I'm going to take Tennessee to cover and win.
I like it. I will also take Tennessee to win, and Austin Lane going with the Dolphins.
So is Brandon.
Interesting. They haven't beat anybody. I don't believe it until I see it. So give me the Dolphins. Austin Lane would be happy if he was here because he wouldn't want me playing defense. I'm going against him. We got Arizona +6 at Dallas -6. Austin will take the Cardinals. Brent Martineau will take who?
I'm going to take Dallas here just because it's 6 points?
Yes.
I think they found something. They're going to get hot right now. That offense was clicking. I don't like Arizona right now. I don't trust them. I don't know how you can trust Arizona. By the way, Brendan's taking Dallas too. I'm going to take Dallas. It's a lot of points here, and it's probably not smart to go against that many points, but I'll take the Cowboys.
You said it yourself, Brent. Too many points. Give me Arizona. And we got one more that I'm honestly at this point really wondering if they're going to play. But that is
been wondering that.
How can they let them go out there? I guess we can get into that a little bit later. But they got if these guys don't start testing back in, I don't know how they're going to play football.
They don't care.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. Nevertheless, 16 points the Jags are getting on the road in Foxborough. Austin Lane is taking the Patriots. Casey Kurtz is taking the Patriots. I'm sure Brandon Poncel, if he's smart, is taking the Patriots. But that sets it up for Brent Martineau to do something that he usually does.
Well, Brandon Poncel is taking the Patriots, and he's the guy that's picked the Jags more than anybody.
That's fair.
But just because the door's open, I'll start 16-0. I'll take it, even though, to be honest with you, if everybody didn't take it, I was about to say I think the Patriots are going to win this game like 45-10, which I kind of do. But what the hell? I'm not really in this thing to win it anymore anyway. So let me pick up a game, and I'll take the Jags and say, well, the NFL is even stranger than we thought.
Whatever works for you, man.
Hey, how close is it right now between you and Austin?
It's in play that he could overpass me in a week.
Wow.
So yeah, the updated, we got Casey 55-47, Austin Lane 52-50, Brent Martineau 47-55, Brandon Poncel 42-60. You guys talked a big game about Brandon. Haven't seen it this year.
Yeah, he killed it last year. So you're 3 up on Austin and 8 up on me.
Yeah, but 3 up on Austin, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
8
up on me.
Yep.
I got a chance. We picked 12 games.
You just picked the Jags.
I know. I had to go different if I want to win this thing.
That is fair. That's a good call.
Back in. I'm going to go 6-0, baby.
That's fair.
All right. We'll be back. Football at 5 rolls on. And we take a look back at the entire 2021. If you can do that in less than an hour, we're going to try it. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue. And it is at Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Open 7 days a week. Try the smoked wings, southern sides, and big old platters. Trivia night and kids eat free specials during the week. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Order online and skip the line. Visit williejewells.com to see other locations in Florida and Georgia. Yulee to St. Augustine, Brunswick, and Kingsland. Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs. Make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
On the court, every shot counts. And every shot counts when it comes to COVID-19. I did my part and got the vaccine when it became available. The state of Florida made it easy for seniors like me. And now it's easy for all eligible Floridians to get a shot. In the fight against COVID-19, every shot counts. Schedule yours today.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
CMG Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit CMGLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. That's CMGLocalSolutions.com or call 904-245-8878. ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings, newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
This holiday season, have one on us. If you've had too much holiday cheer, Farrah and Farrah will pay for you to get home safe and sound. Go to farrahandfarrah.com/NYE to claim your free ride. Here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life, call 800-444-9336.
I'm Susan Appleton, owner of Appleton Communication and a Jax Chamber member. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to serve the Jacksonville Women's Business Center on the Society of Small Businesses and to work with women business leaders in Northeast Florida. I'm proud to be a part of JWBC by offering women the opportunity to enhance their communication strategies and relationship building skills as a venture leadership facilitator. JWBC continues to innovate resources and education and provides women entrepreneurs the space to network and prosper alongside each other. This support is invaluable to women in business, and I am most thankful to be a part of it. For more information, visit jaxchamberfoundation.org.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I wouldn't say so, John. I think, we certainly preach it's all about the ball. I mean, you can't play quarterback in this league and turn the football over. Trevor, the last couple weeks, has gotten a little bit loose with the ball when you watch him when he moves. He's got big hands, but the ball does get below his belt line. He knows that. We've kind of cut out some clips and shown him those clips of the ball being a little bit low. But, for example, the one that comes out, kind of backed up in our own territory, like that can't happen. And he knows that.
That is Brian Schottenheimer, offensive coordinator at the moment, acting at least, passing game coordinator, been working with Trevor all year long. I think he's done some nice things with him. He also took ownership of the third down spike play where he just thought at the moment it was better to get set up and ready to roll. The one thing is, it's interesting about third down spike play last week against the Jets that, again, I think you could see it from this side. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I think you could see it, is that you have a young quarterback and you have a team that on fourth down couldn't get lined up correctly. If that happens on third down, you have a procedure play, well, you get 10 seconds roll off the clock because the clock was moving. And so you can kind of see why he wanted to err on the side of caution there because of what happened on fourth down, where they couldn't communicate very well. And so you do run the risk of not getting a play in, a play off, or your best play off if you didn't spike it. And meanwhile, they still couldn't execute on fourth down. I guess that's what even exacerbated the situation even more. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Austin Lane, still on vacation up in Wisconsin. This will be our last show of the year, of the actual year. Of 2021. We will not be in tomorrow afternoon. We'll hand off to the national guys and get you set for the holiday weekend and the new year and everything else going on. And then, of course, off and run once again on Monday to open up 2022. And that begins with a coaching search for the Jaguars. What's the latest on Trent Baalke? The final week of the regular season in the NFL. Playoffs right on the horizon, and into what an offseason will be around here. And that's a lot of draft talk. That's a new hire. That's Senior Bowl. That's NFL Combine. That's free agency. And so a lot to come in 2022. It doesn't stop. And we look forward to it. And quite frankly, it might be the more entertaining part of the year based on the way the Jags have played football. So that's just a reality, and it's an unfortunate reality, but it is a reality. Coming off 3 wins now over the last 2 seasons, how are they going to turn this around? So that gets us going really on the stories of 2021. And I put 4 answers on a poll question today of the stories of 2021 locally. And if you didn't see it, here's what the vote tally looks like. We got over 700 votes in the last few hours.
I voted.
Good. What did you vote for? Meyer?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I put. Trevor Lawrence in total, right? The drafting, we kind of knew he was going to get drafted, but the idea that he's in Jacksonville, he's the face of the franchise, and quite frankly, you could make the case the play has been subpar. So I think that most people would make that case. So that's part of the story of Trevor Lawrence in 2021. He's in second place with 17% of the vote. Caleb Dressel from Jacksonville. He's the best swimmer on the planet, folks. And by the way, Ryan Murphy did well too. And our connections to the swimming world and the 2020 games, even though it was in 21, Caleb Dressel was in Michael Phelps kind of category. That's only getting 2% of the vote, but to be honest with you, it's a very underrated story. Dan Mullen being fired, only 1% of the, at least on my Twitter, is the story. I mean, that is unexpected.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's super unexpected.
Yeah, I think we did first coach fired. Well, I don't think we did. I got it right. Clay Helton, no big deal, humble brag. We did that before the college football season, but if we would have done coach definitely not to get fired, it would have been Kirby Smart and Dan Mullen if we were doing local teams. So the fall from grace for Dan Mullen is honestly truly incredible how it happened. I don't know if it's 30-30 worthy, but maybe 15-15 worthy. It's definitely interesting, but apparently the people on your Twitter, they're not having it.
Yeah, and mostly because the freshest one and the most shocking one is the one that's running away with it, 80% of the vote, and that's Urban Meyer, hired and fired.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a huge story in 2021 that he got hired.
Yeah.
You know, it started to trend late in 2020, but really became a story in early of 2021 back in January. And the idea that he could be hired, first of all, and Shad Khan got his guy and was celebrated by many, criticized by some as well, but then to be fired before the season even ended is just astonishing. It's surreal. And that happened. And so I understand why that is, winning the vote, and it probably should win the vote. It's the most unbelievable, but yet the biggest story of 2021, because here we are looking for a new person in charge of the organization, and now we've got this movement on social media amongst Jags fans because of what they might do with Trent Baalke, the GM, and keep him, and it creates what is going to be the story of 2022 now, at least the early part of it, is who's going to fix the mess in Jacksonville. So that's where we stand. And that is a runaway winner, and rightfully so. I mean, again, I think you can make a case from like a pure local standpoint. I mean, the Caleb Dressel story is unbelievable.
Yeah.
We have other stories that are unbelievable. Heck, Mac Jones is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. I would have voted for Dressel if Urban Meyer, because I feel like even if Urban Meyer doesn't get fired, let's just say, you could still have Urban Meyer on your thing because it was such a, the fact that he was hired is worthy of being on your tweet itself. And that's when I would have voted for Caleb Dressel. But the less than a year, the hired, fired, I had to vote. But Caleb Dressel, I love me some Caleb Dressel.
The thing about it, too, is I was just in Ohio, and for me, it's this is still the same calendar year that I went to Ohio and did stories on Urban Meyer, maybe saving the Jags franchise and turning around the franchise.
Yeah, you did some stand-ups in the snow.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to fathom. That's where we're at, and he made it messier in Jacksonville than it already was, and maybe the messiest it's been. Now, it's not all him. I don't believe that. I think, but he hired a staff. He was supposed to fix the culture. He did nothing, and now he's left it into more of a mess, at least currently. We hope the idea that you could bring some other people in can fix that and make it feel better than it feels, but it feels awful in Jacksonville as we end 2021. And it's, I think, felt pretty good going into things with Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer. And I still can't get over the fact I've had people comment this to me, and they agree. And I think it's not said enough, really, that how does Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence to some degree, although I think less is in his control, but Urban Meyer, in his DNA, did he have a 2-13, 2-15 season on the horizon for the Jags? I just didn't believe it. Of all the things, I could have believed there would be some dysfunction. I could believe that Urban would get himself into some trouble here or there and be polarizing and a lightning rod. I could predict those things. I could predict Tebow maybe even being a part of it before I would predict 2 wins for Urban Meyer in his stint in the NFL. I just did not think he had it in his makeup to win 2 games. And then you combine that with Trevor, who had not had that in his makeup as a player in his life.
Yeah.
And that happened too. It just goes to show you one person or 2 people can't change everything. But Urban Meyer made it worse. That's the story here. That is the story of 2021, from hiring to firing. And it's hard to get past that when you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars in the current state they're in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to your point there, and it kind of goes off of the 2 wins, I didn't believe that the roster that they had was this lack of talented.
Me too.
And it all falls
and their
into
offense
one.
Specifically.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Travis Etienne gets hurt. You have to start there. But James Robinson, Marvin Jones, DJ Chark also gets hurt. But, I mean, it looked pretty decent on paper. Like, even before I was working here, I was working in TV, and me and Brian Middleton and some others would talk down there like, hey, they might win 5 or 6 games. And we believed that because we thought the roster was okay, even on defense. And it's just not. Now, granted, coaching, it looks like, played a part in that. Urban Meyer and the staff didn't make these guys better, and that's proven. So the whole Urban Meyer 340 whatever days it was, what an experiment.
Well, and let's just harp on that a little bit more. I thought Trevor Lawrence was walking into a pretty good situation on offense.
Yeah.
For a rookie quarterback that was drafted number 1 overall.
Well, yeah, because you believed in Laviska Shenault. You thought he would take a step. You thought DJ Chark was pretty good, and you thought Marvin Jones was a safety blanket. I should stop saying you because that's how I felt, at least.
Yeah, and not only that, you draft Travis Etienne, and you have an offensive line that I still think people would take this offensive line. Even they've had bad moments, and now they all have COVID, but they all, or at least are on the list, but they've had bad moments. But I think people would take them around the league. And so, they had a weak tight end room, and they actually made that better with Dan Arnold. But you get Etienne hurt, right? James Robinson is misused and then hurt. DJ Chark is hurt and done for the year. That certainly impacted their offense. I mean, what else could they have done? Would Laviska have been better as a third wheel in the offense? Maybe. Maybe even a fourth if James is used right or Etienne's healthy. So I do think, I'm going to still have some high hopes for this offense next year, turning it around, because Etienne and Chark, if they are a part of it, would be guys that didn't play. They're going to add in free agency. Now, they won't have James, and so the running game will be a question mark for the Jacksonville Jaguars, no doubt, and that wasn't the case coming into this year. So it's really unfathomable to me that their offense has struggled to this degree. Like, we're talking about them over the last couple of weeks. If they don't get some points, they are going to be the worst offense from a scoring standpoint in the history of the organization. And let's just say the Jags have not been the Kansas City Chiefs in recent memory.
Yeah.
And so you really got some competition to be the worst, and they might be the worst with a promising young quarterback and pieces that you thought would be pretty good, and a coach that's supposed to be an offensive coach in Urban Meyer. And they've turned it into maybe the worst in franchise history when it's all said and done from a scoring point standpoint. So that, to me, is pretty unbelievable and dead wrong about 2 things this year. This offense being a decent offense, a pretty good one to walk into for Trevor, and the DNA of Urban Meyer not allowing this kind of season to happen. And to be honest with you, I thought there was a better chance of Urban Meyer saying, I'm not made for the NFL, or something happening where, okay, it's short-lived, even though I didn't buy that would happen after 1 year, than him just winning 2 games.
Yeah.
I actually thought if you put all these things on a table, I would have picked winning 2 games as the least likely.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just, it's almost, when you sit back and look at it like we're doing right now, and we do this every day, but I think, if you really think about it like I am, it almost doesn't seem like it's real that it happened. In a couple of years, as long as things get turned around, no one's even going to, the fact Urban Meyer's going to be forgotten, how this happened, if they turn it around, is going to be forgotten that this experiment happened. Now, if they don't turn it around, that won't be forgotten. But, the fact that I have an Urban Meyer signed Jags mini helmet, in 3 years, I'm going to be like, who signed this?
Yeah. Oh. Where'd you see him?
Yeah. You want me to tell you for real?
No. I was just saying, okay. You'll be like, I must have run into, and I had this helmet, said, hey, can you sign this?
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how it happened. I mean, it's odd, man. It's just an odd time, I guess.
Let's stay with the NFL in 2021 because Mac Jones is a story.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years for Mac Jones has been an incredible rise to fame for the former Bowls product, the Jacksonville native. And it's an incredible story, and probably one. We have this reluctancy, I think, in Jacksonville, even as a media, but even as people that follow sports and like sports and enjoy sports, to celebrate people like Mac Jones and Derrick Henry. And what Derrick Henry was about to do before he got hurt was unbelievable. He was on this crazy pace to have an MVP type of year.
Right.
Well, Mac Jones might be the rookie of the year in the NFL. He might not, but he might be, and he's in the conversation. And what he's doing to get into the playoffs, I think they will make the playoffs in his rookie year. And what they've asked him to do and how he's responded, I think is incredible. But because the Jags lack of success, I think we tend to enjoy the successes of others less. And I think that's the case with Mac right now, and I think that's the case with Derrick Henry over the years. And but what the bottom line is, you can't dismiss those guys, and right now you can't dismiss Mac Jones. What he is doing and what he's done is one of the great stories of 2021 from a local standpoint, and you got to give him a hat tip for sure for all he's done.
Absolutely, and I think one of the first things I put on this little list that I made for sports in 2021, going way back, Mac Jones led Alabama to the national championship.
Yes.
And in 2020, at the start of the season, there was a real belief Bryce Young would be the starting quarterback. So he won the job, by the way. Humble brag. Somewhere I worked before here, I wrote an article and said Mac Jones was the second best quarterback in the SEC that year behind Kyle Trask, and I got laughed out of the workplace. How did that work out, people? Not very good. I was right. Anyway, the point of the story is that was
at it again.
Hey, look, I'm just telling you, I'm a prognosticator, I think, as Austin Lane calls it. But nevertheless, all of this has happened for Mac Jones, and it's been a great year for him. But it's easy to forget where it started, and that was leading them to a national championship in a season that nobody thought he'd be the quarterback of Alabama.
Yeah, so it's been a heck of a 2021. I really go back to last year and like you said, kind of beating out Bryce Young, and really the last 18 months for Mac Young. It's been unbelievable. What a story he is and has been. And I just don't think we can sleep on those guys like Derrick Henry, guys like Mac Jones. And we have a lot of NFL players from the area too, but those two stand out amongst them all in what they've been able to do. We hit on it a little bit, Dan Mullen being fired. Mike Norvell, I think has a chance to really rescue this thing as the way they played down the stretch. Miami starts all over. Georgia is in the Final Four. College football was a mess in the state of Florida in 2021.
Yeah.
And that's how it will be remembered, even though Georgia, who has a lot of local ties and local interests around here, might have a chance to win a national title and for the first time since 1980. So it could be a banner year just north of the border for the Georgia Bulldogs. But it was really a mess of a year in college football if you look at it in totality in the state of Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. And in another weird thing that happened that, we don't really talk about that much, but I don't even know if they talk about it in Orlando, but Gus Malzahn is the coach of UCF.
Yeah.
That's something that it's under the radar for sure, but it's definitely different coming from the SEC to UCF. But nonetheless, I think with Miami in a weird way, when Manny Diaz was hired, it was kind of like there was something left to be desired. I don't think that's the case now. So it was weird this year for Miami and the whole state of Florida, but in a way, Miami got their guy. It just took them one hire longer than they thought. Now they have their guy. I think Mike Norvell, to your point, is the guy at Florida State. And the question will now be, does Florida have their guy in Billy Napier? Now they'll be able to compare Napier to Cristobal and all that. But, yeah, Florida was it wasn't it for college football this year. And I guess that happens, but Georgia's gonna really make the state of Florida look bad if they can do what I think is the unthinkable and beat Michigan. But it could happen.
Yeah, it could happen, and we'll see if Georgia's able to do it and really kind of raise a banner for a little north of the border. I think UCF right now is feeling really good about themselves, not only because of Malzahn, but what they just did to beat a Power 5 team. There's some crazy – last time they did it was like 1938 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Miami now has their guy. But, Manny Diaz was a Miami guy too, And so can Cristobal get it done? Just watched Oregon play. He didn't leave Oregon in great shape over these last month. Lost 3 out of 4 to end it, and they looked sorry last night against Oklahoma. I do think Norvell is the guy to get them on the right track. I don't know if he's going to be the guy to win big, but he might be the guy that gets it right at FSU, even if it's not for him, maybe for the next guy. And Napier, I don't have a great feel about, to be honest. I think they're going to invest bigger than they've ever invested before in Florida football, and that will help. I think Miami is the same. They obviously showed, ponied up a lot of money And that's the name of the game now in college football. And so will Florida and Miami reap the benefits of that because they're finally willing to open the checkbook like they've never done before? It's not like they haven't spent, but they've never spent like this. And Napier's building himself a big staff because they're able to open the checkbook and support the way he wanted it supported, the way he's seen it supported at places like Alabama. And right now, Florida State can't play that game. That's going to be a hindrance, I think, for Mike Norvell in terms of winning big. But they're not playing that kind of game with the checkbook.
No.
And you have to wonder if they can. So the state of Florida football is really interesting. They should never be as bad as they've been, the Big Three especially in this state. But it wasn't a good year, 2021. It was really
it was bad.
Epically bad.
Yeah.
When you look at the three big schools. But like I said, UCF not saying that because things are okay after beating Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl. All right, Football at 5 continues, but so does the 2021 year in review. What are we missing? Any other big national stories? Of course, we can always go high school here, but we've done a lot of high school in the past on shows, so we'll leave high school out of this 2021 review. What else are we missing from the calendar year that's about to flip over to 2022? We talk more about it. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly clear skies tonight. A little fog later on as temperatures drop into the low 60s and an unseasonably warm Friday. Record highs 80 to 85 under partly sunny skies and a very mild New Year's Eve night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Whether you're a rock-solid hard athlete or a hardcore fan, in Little League, a pro, or a weekend warrior, Cora Physical Therapy is here to help you reach your goals. We're happy to announce that Cora is now open in Kingsland, on Boone and Haddock, and we're coming soon to Brunswick. With a total of 17 clinics in the Jacksonville region, there's sure to be one near your home or work. Call or come in today for a free screening. No physician's referral needed. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good. It's more than food. It's about the flavor, the tradition. It's barbecue, and it's who we are at Bono's. Locally smoked since 1949. Almost 20 locations around Jacksonville. On the menu, smokehouse stackers, sandwiches, salads, sides, and Bono's Family Feast. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. Authentic traditional Southern barbecue. Feel the flavor, feel the community. Bono's Pit Barbecue. Yeah, it's good.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
Stop everything. Why? Because it's the final days of Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota. Don't wait. Make today the day to shop Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota with 300 new Toyotas available. And you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. Plus, every new car purchase at Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty. But you're running out of time. Only days remain until Toyotathon is gone. So stop everything and shop in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at ArlingtonToyota.com. Hurry!
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? With nights getting longer, it might be time to refresh your headlights. You'll see better and drive safer. Why not try Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs? They have the furthest down road light, and right now you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy two. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or free next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Opportunity for someone to showcase why they belong, why they weren't a starter, now why they belong as a starter. It's a great opportunity. Guys on the practice squad being elevated, guys that we're bringing in that maybe were on the street, opportunity to showcase why they shouldn't be on the street. I know this, it's a great opportunity for us as an organization to go up there and fight our tails off to get a victory.
That is defensive coordinator Joe Cullen, and plenty of new opportunities. Andre Cisco, by the way, should see a lot of action, right, with Andrew Wingard going on the COVID list.
Yeah,
and I think that will excite some people.
So it'll be Daniel Thomas and Cisco, right?
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, I think Cisco's going to make some mistakes too. I think that's the book on him. And the question is, will he make some plays to overcome that? Trevon Diggs is a great example, and I'm not trying to compare Cisco and Diggs, but this is how it works sometimes in the NFL. Palomalu was like this for Pittsburgh. Everybody knew him for making plays. Well, he also made some mistakes because he gambled a lot, And I think Trevon Diggs is a little bit like that. He's got 11 picks, but didn't they say, isn't the stat like he's given up the most yards in the league?
Yes, that's correct.
Are you willing to do that to give up to get 11? Like, not many coaches are, by the way. I think many coaches, wouldn't you rather, Jalen Ramsey's 10 times better than Trevon Diggs, but Diggs is getting all the headlines.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
it's just something to watch. I mean, I think maybe you give a little to get some with Cisco, and this is a franchise, an organization, a team that has really struggled to get some turnovers this year. They are the league worst. I think they only have 7. So, hey, we're keeping an eye. We're talking about 2021 year in review. Keep an eye on the Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists as well. Baselli and Taylor, hopefully on the list. But so far, they have not had their name called, which is a little peculiar on the Baselli front. Let me get to it.
I have them if you want them.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it too. I got it as well, but go ahead.
Devin Hester, Zach Thomas, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Bryant Young, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Rondé Barber, Jared Allen, Torrey Holt, Leroy Butler, Patrick Willis, and DeMarcus Ware.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Leroy Butler just announces the 13th, so there's 2 more to go. I can't imagine Baselli's not going to be on this list. I would say it's shaping up that Fred Taylor's not going to be on the list.
Yeah,
but I mean, Baselli, he's been a finalist, and he's really been close, and obviously that's the one everybody kind of has been looking at. Just because it's the closest to get to the Pro Football Hall of Fame before become the first Jaguar player to do so. Now, Leroy Butler didn't make it last year, of course, famous for the Lambeau Leap, and he's out of the former Lee High School, now Riverside High School, so he's a Jacksonville guy, played for Corky Rogers, and you know him as a Green Bay Packer, but he's Jacksonville product. So we have had some success with Jacksonville products, but none for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And a little nervous right now. I mean, come on, where's Tony Baselli on this list?
Yeah, that whole last segment, you kind of told me to keep my eye on it. I'm literally just sitting here refreshing my phone. That's what I've been doing the whole time. So,
I mean, this would seriously, if he's not in the final 15, then we are talking about an upset of epic proportions that he's not in the final 15. There are so many people that think this is the year he's getting in. Because usually when you knock on the door enough and you have a certain percentage of the vote and they've had long conversations about you, the next step is getting in. So, I mean, I'm going to guarantees on these next 2 coming out.
And I believe there's not an offensive lineman that I named, correct?
That's the other thing about it, right? And that's really beneficial to potentially.
One thing that has been reported a bunch of times, again, there's still 2 more names to come out, but there's been some blue check marks saying Hines Ward will not be in the finalist list. It will just be for the receivers, Andre Johnson, Reggie Wayne, and I'm forgetting one. But it says Hines Ward will not be in, so that's another name you probably don't have to worry about in the next 2 unless the blue check marks are incorrect. But, Brent, you're a blue check mark. You guys are usually right.
Well, I'm looking at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, too, so they're actually tweeting it, the official account of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And so this is it's going to be interesting to watch. But they've been pushing them out every few minutes, and I'm waiting for the next one. While we wait for that, we'll keep you updated. I'm assuming Baselli is going to be on the next 2. There are 15 finalists to be named. And we continue to look at our 2021 year in review. The 2 big stories, really from a national standpoint. One had a lot of local impact, and one always has local feel and impact because he's such a global icon. Tiger Woods' car accident, and now his comeback, really, last week. To see him have a car accident the way he did, was that January?
Yes.
And now be able to play with his son, and I know it wasn't like a major event, and I'm not, but you saw him play. I mean, he can still play. I can't believe he was able to do that. And that was a really bad wreck.
Yeah.
And by the way, it is Tiger's birthday today.
Yep, good work to get that in there. Also, LeBron James' birthday. Me and Brian were talking about that. How is that possible?
It's pretty wild. If you were born on December 31st, Tiger and LeBron, 2 of the most iconic athletes we have of this generation and maybe ever. So, and then the other one is the UFC came to Jacksonville, and that opened sports back up to fans.
Yes. Yeah, that is correct. That is one I had forgotten about. But, yeah, that was a big moment for not just Jacksonville but everywhere, because now you see fans are back everywhere. If you watch anything, you will see fans. So, yeah, that was a monumental moment for not only the UFC but just sports fans in general. And it's pretty cool that Jacksonville got to be the city that pretty much allowed him to do that.
So UFC, by the way, our buddy Austin Lane, who's trying to get back to that UFC and knocking on the door now, had a very nice 2021.
He did.
And especially last month with a big win out there in Houston. So do you think we saw UFC come back again, right? Oh, no, they will come back again. Was there another event in the summer?
There's the one you were thinking of. They had the ones with no fans.
One.
Yeah.
Just the one. Okay. And I think we'll continue to see it based on the relationship of UFC and the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one. It was initially one without fans way back, and then that was trying to get sports back in it. And then UFC, with fans, and that one in Jacksonville, and it was a big card. So there's like this special relationship now between Jacksonville and the UFC, and you're a UFC fan. We always talk about this, like Vegas and other places overseas. There are some spots, but you wonder if Jacksonville could become in the rotation as the years go by in UFC to be really a heavy spot for some of the big cards.
Yeah, that would be, I think as a fan, that would be awesome. But at the same time, if you're not necessarily a fan, Jacksonville has proven that it's a pretty good sports town. I mean, the Jumbo Shrimp are well supported. The Jacksonville Icemen are well supported. There's obviously Jacksonville Jaguars fans out there. Just look at Twitter. But it's a good sports city that will rally behind things. So obviously the UFC is not for everybody, I guess I should say. You have to really want to watch somebody fight somebody else, and it's, it gets ugly at times. Austin can tell you all about it, but it is interesting and it is intriguing, and it is something that there are a lot of fans of, myself included. So if Jacksonville could find a way to partner up or continue the partnership they have with UFC, I think it's all the better for sports fans in this city.
All right, we still are waiting on Tony Baselli. We've gone sidetracked a little bit because we're waiting to see if Tony Baselli is a finalist for the Hall of Fame class of 2022. 13 have been named. There will be 15. Baselli's not on the list. Leroy Butler's on the list. Rondé Barber, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Bryant Young, Richard Seymour, Jared Allen, Zach Thomas, Sam Mills, Patrick Willis, a few linebackers, Devin Hester, DeMarcus Ware, Andre Johnson. So receiver heavy, defensive impact player heavy, from defensive ends to linebackers. And there's a safety and a corner. Rondé Barber is the corner safety. Leroy Butler, of course, Jacksonville product. And plenty of receivers to pick from. Do you think these receivers are slam dunk guys to get in? Torrey Holt is not. Reggie Wayne, yes or no?
Reggie Wayne has sneaky good numbers, so I'm going to say yeah.
The Andre Johnson?
I'm on the fence about that. I'm not, I don't know. It's similar to Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne has good numbers, so does Andre Johnson. But when I was watching Andre Johnson, he was very good. Don't get me wrong. He was disgusting in Madden. Big fan of him. It never really screamed Hall of Fame to me. So I think at least this turn of around, I say no.
In a 29-minute stretch, they announced 13 of the finalists.
Yes, they did.
And now they're keeping us waiting. Over the last 10 minutes, they haven't made an announcement.
That's correct.
So,
you want me to give you some rapid-fire things for 2021 that we can discuss while we wait?
Let's do it.
All right. We've got, obviously, the fans returning in general was a big one. Texas and Oklahoma will be a part of the SEC. That was interesting.
Oh, very good call.
Hank Aaron, unfortunately, passed away the year the Atlanta Braves win the World Series. Phil Mickelson becomes the oldest major championship winner. Hideki Matsuyama becomes the first Japanese male player to win a major championship. The Tampa Bay Lightning go back-to-back in the Stanley Cup. No big deal. A national story that doesn't really relate here but relates everywhere else. Messi goes to PSG, which is a huge story. Name, image, and likeness happened on July 1st, if you remember that. And locally, the Icemen moved from the Winnipeg Jets to the New York Rangers. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp played their first game, and obviously they missed that whole season like most teams did, but they also moved up to AAA and played their first game in AAA. And then back nationally, overall, Shohei Ohtani as a person happened to Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's a very good call there. By the way, you mentioned the Icemen earlier, too, and the Icemen now have a chance to go for 10 in a row, so they're sending out the year in style, and it'll be a big 2022 with the All-Star Game. The ECHL All-Star Game was supposed to be in 2021. That got scrapped. That'll be coming up in January, and right now, a first-place team in the ECHL. And in the existence of the Icemen, they're setting records now. Club record 9 wins in a row, first place by a handful of points. I mean, they're really looking good so far. And affiliation with the New York Rangers, which is a big deal. They thought it would be a big deal. It's proved to be a big deal. So a lot of fun stuff. We mentioned, heck, the Jacksonville Giants, did they win it again? I just assume they win it every year. But look at all the rings that those guys have.
They got a lot of banners. If you go to the arena, just look up.
They certainly do. And so local sports on a lot of levels. I know we highlight the Jags, and then on top of that, we talk football with like Florida and Florida State, and it feels bad, but really the underbelly of the sports scene here in Jacksonville is really good. I think one of the cool stories of this year is EWU.
Yeah.
And they've gone Division II, and the way they've marketed themselves and promoted themselves and really burst on the scene, even though they've been around a while, I think it's really cool what they're doing, their facilities and everything else. So you have stories like that. You have tons of stories on UNF campus and JU campus. And so, the sports scene here, from the Players' Championship to the Daytona 500 to the high school scene to all the other stories like Caleb Dressel and Ryan Murphy and UFC and the like, it's really a lot of positive stories. The big story is not one, and that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's really hard to find the positives, and that kind of seems like there's a cloud in Jacksonville on the sports scene, but I think if you look underneath, you really see a lot of cool stories out there as well. All right, I'm going to refresh this thing from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Once again, I see nothing, so let's take a break. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show. We'll put a bow on the year, and we'll hopefully be able to give you an update on Tony Baselli or Fred Taylor as a finalist for the 2022 class in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 wherever you get your podcast to make sure you don't miss moments like this.
Where did you have a new nickname around this place?
Sure do, Brent. Because
Or do you like it? Nicknames are good sometimes.
Yeah. Well, so like how when it's your birthday coming up, which it's my birthday month or whatever, like they kind of give you a little heads up. And I appreciate all the work that they do and everything. But when they say November birthdays and it's Austin Lane and this must be Thanksgiving themed, AKA free range hot buns. you guys like that? Is that good for you?
We are here for Magda, a Holocaust survivor.
Things become harder with age.
We are here for Sharonda, who needed parenting support.
I cried out to her. She listened to me.
And we're here for Ashley, who needed to heal.
She helped me feel like I didn't have to be scared.
Jewish Family and Community Services is here for seniors with food, financial assistance, and counseling. JFCS is here for Jax. Visit jfcsjax.org.
Florida children are eligible for head-to-toe coverage through the Florida Kid Care Program, which is high-quality, affordable health and dental coverage with cost as low as $15 a month. To assist families applying for Florida Kid Care or Medicaid and increase enrollment in the Florida Kid Care Program, the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital offers free application assistance. For appointments, call 904-202-WELL. That's 904-202-9355. Habla Español.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
BetOnline.net still has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football continues its march through the College Bowl season and the Pro Football Playoffs. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports info, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just football. BetOnline.net has up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, along with live real-time updates of current games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2022 season. BetOnline.net, where the game starts.
You don't have to visit Buffalo to get fresh, delicious, mouth-watering wings made to order. Just go to the Extreme Wings nearest you. Extreme Wings is where the locals have been going for the freshest, never-frozen, world-famous hot wings since 1999. Dozens of flavors to choose from. Full liquor bar, happy hour specials, state-of-the-art TVs on every wall. After the game, after work, for lunch, for dinner. Make it extreme. Check out their award-winning Pit Road wings. Oh, they're so good. They are grilled to perfection with extremely secret seasoning. Looking for a family-friendly sports restaurant that can accommodate large parties? Well, look no further. You can take the entire team to Extreme Wings after the game, where all kids' meals are just $6.99. Come celebrate the grand opening of Extreme Wings' newest location. That's Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Extreme burgers, salads, wraps, and of course, world-famous Extreme Wings. Do what the locals do and make it extreme. Extreme Wings' newest location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, or visit a location near you.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
That's the part that's so sad about this, is that you guys want to ask us as coaches questions. I want to answer them as honest as possible, but the hardest thing is every time you ask a question, you drive the comparison home. And really, at the end of the day, they're both different quarterbacks, and they're both good in their own right. And I think we've got 4 quarterbacks capable of winning big here at University of Georgia, and Stetson's our quarterback right now.
Well, Stetson Bennett in that mix, by the way, is Carson Beck as well. JT Daniels, Carson Beck, a young man out of Providence and Mandarin. And Jacksonville is what I was really trying to say. So one of the 3, if you want to call it that. He started his high school career at Providence. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Happy New Year, everybody, as we put a bow on 2021. By the way, we welcomed in Casey to the show in 2021, so that was good. We do have some good news for you. Tony Boselli is a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They made everybody wait on it. Willie Anderson, the final one. Tony Boselli, 14th on the list that they announced. That does not mean that's the order, but they announced the 2 offensive linemen last, and that was Boselli and Willie Anderson. So we'll see on Tony Boselli. Now, he doesn't have a lot of friction when it comes to offensive linemen, so that's a good thing. And he's been right there. And everybody, listen, we've covered this very closely. We go to the Super Bowls annually. I think we're going to go again because of the Boselli story, mainly out in L.A. We'll see with COVID and everything else. And they did it differently last year, if you might remember. So we're working on that. But we follow this real close when we get to Super Bowl week and the final stages. And every year we have people like, hey, he's going to get in, he's going to get in, he's going to get in, he's close, he's close, he's close, he's close. I think this is the year. And so here we are again. 2022 might be that year for Tony Boselli, so it's good news he's a finalist. Bad news for Fred Taylor. I know so many people are pushing for Fred now as well, and they should. I mean, the numbers are right there, and I think he's got a chance to really start knocking down the door.
But at least from a Jacksonville standpoint, it's probably going to be Baselli first that gets into the Hall of Fame. And once that happens, maybe that makes room for guys like Fred, maybe even Jimmy Smith, because those guys have numbers that certainly deserve recognition. They're debatable in some parts, but not around here. Those two should be in Canton, Ohio. Many of us do believe. So good news on the Tony Baselli front there. Coming up tomorrow, by the way, we'll hand off to national coverage. This weekend, we have a year in review show on TV. It's on Fox 30 at 7 o'clock on Saturday. We have Action Sports Jax primetime Saturday and Sunday night, still 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Full day of Jags coverage coming up on Sunday as well. Tonight, Jaguars All Access will be at String Sports Brewery. I had some travel issues. That's why we're not doing the show there today on a radio standpoint, but I'm hustling over right after the show, and we'll be at Strings for Jaguars All Access. So that's a little bit of the story as we put a bow on this calendar year. You know, a lot of people will look back at 2021, Casey, and say, yeah, bad year, wasn't great. I don't usually do that with years. I don't kind of categorize them, good year, bad year. I understand. Listen, there's a lot going on with COVID. Heck, if you want to do it from a sports perspective, the Jags, you know, I still think there's a lot of good happening, too, and a lot of fun stuff. And as we go into 2022, we're going to celebrate a 3-year anniversary with ESPN 690, so the lights are still on. We like that part of it.
Yeah.
So hopefully 2021 was good for you, and 2022 will be even better for everybody out there. But you too, Casey Kurtz.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, can't complain. You know,
you're getting married.
I am getting married. Don't ask when.
What do you mean? That might be off?
No. I just, you know, Austin likes to ask me when the date is, and I kind of give him a somewhat concrete answer. Believe March 6th.
COVID is not messing that up yet, though.
No. We're still doing the thing, but yeah, you know, overall good year. Then that's, I guess, as you were saying, COVID and all that, and yeah, it's still a thing. But I guess that's life, right? Good and the bad. Every day something different. So yeah, I can't complain. I work here now. That's pretty cool. I enjoy that, and that happened this year. So can't complain, Brent. I'm overall, I'm not smiling, but I'm pretty happy.
And we will go into 2022 from a storyline standpoint, start on Monday on the radio side of things, and it'll be all about the new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. How are they going to turn this around? And that will be a story that we've had many a years as the new year happens and the calendar turns. Will they finally get it right? Can they figure it out? Who's going to be that guy to try to do it and nurture and help Trevor Lawrence be the face of this franchise and add more good players, because obviously the franchise needs it. In the meantime, a lot of good stories out there as well on a local level to put your arms around. All right, man, good work today. Thanks to you and Brian Middleton for chipping in while I had some travel issues. Good work, and you guys will take it away. Action Sports Jax Overtime coming up next as Middleton gets back in the fold.
Yep.
He's back and ready to roll. Don.
The broadcast Don. He's back. He just walked in. He's ready to roll. He's a busy guy. He's not as busy as you, but he's busy.
I'll see everybody on TV tonight, CBS 47, Fox 30. We've got Jaguars All Access at 7 o'clock. Happy New Year, everyone. If we don't talk to you between now and then, be safe. Have a good one. And back at it. Austin Lane will be back. Casey and myself, Monday, 3 p.m. on ESPN 690. Casey and Brian Middleton, Action Sports Jax OT, coming up right after this on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey. All season long, we've been bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live before every Jags home game and Florida, Georgia as well. We have one more edition to close out the 2021 NFL season. That comes on January 9th. Join Brent Martineau live from the Duval House at the foot of the Hart Bridge, right next to the bank from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we get you set for the Jags season finale against the Colts, the rest of the games around the NFL, and even some fantasy football advice as well. Remember, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on January 9th, the final edition of ESPN 690 Game Day Live, sponsored by the Duval House.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida bars recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and I have more brand new local coverage to tell you about. Every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, we're giving you more of what you want. More Action Sports Jax. From 6 to 6:30, myself, Casey Kurtz, and Brian Middleton will bring you Action Sports Jax Overtime. There's a lot of topics in sports, and sometimes we can't hit them all from 3 to 6. We'll hit them all on OT. So join us 6 to 6:30 every Monday and Thursday night right here on ESPN 690. Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line. What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 wherever you get your podcast to make sure you don't miss moments like this.
Word is you have a new nickname around this place.
Sure do, Brent. Because you know
Or do you
how-
like it? Nicknames are good sometimes.
Yeah. Well, so you know, like how when it's your birthday coming up, which it's my birthday month or whatever, like they kind of give you a little heads up. And I appreciate all the work that they do and everything. But when they say November birthdays and it's Austin Lane and this must be Thanksgiving themed, AKA free range hot buns. you guys like that? Is that good for you?
What's up? It's Casey. All season long, we've been bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live before every Jags home game and Florida, Georgia as well. We have one more edition to close out the 2021 NFL season. That comes on January 9th. Join Brent Martineau live from the Duval House at the foot of the Hart Bridge, right next to the bank from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we get you set for the Jags season finale against the Colts, the rest of the games around the NFL, and even some fantasy football advice as well. Remember, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on January 9th, the final edition of ESPN 690 Game Day Live, sponsored by the Duval House.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Visit Allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability.
This is SportsCenter. Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Late third quarter, Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl. Tennessee and Purdue are going back and forth. And now the Volunteers, with a field goal, have taken a 31-30 lead. A lot of excitement, a lot of fun. It's on ESPN and ESPN Radio right now. Coming up tomorrow, the 2 college football playoff semifinals. First up, Cincinnati against Alabama. The top-ranked Crimson Tide, a big favorite. Can the Bearcats handle the pressure? Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell says yes.
We've been on some of those stages. I'm not saying we've been, in a Cotton Bowl stage like this in the playoffs, but, playing at Notre Dame this year, I think was big for us. And handling, just all the hype around it and, even the environment and the atmosphere and going into that game. So I think that our ability to kind of handle that and grow through that, hopefully we'll be able to draw upon all those things to help us here tomorrow afternoon.
And it's Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell. College football playoffs begin 2:30 p.m. Eastern Friday here on ESPN Radio. NBA postponing tonight's Nuggets-Warriors game in Denver. Denver doesn't have enough players.
It's Keith from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, hoping you're spending as much time with your wonderful family as possible. When the calendar turns to 2022, we'll be right here talking about the NFL playoff picture. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
For a half second there, and more like a whole second, I didn't think that was our music bed. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but somebody else is doing a show. But nah, it turns out that's just Brian Middleton burning the midnight oil, putting in music beds I ain't never heard. Another banger, by the way. But I've never been more thrown off sitting in front of a microphone talking to the people than I was right there. But nevertheless, it's a banger, and here we are. Action Sports Jax, overtime ESPN 690. Feels nice to be doing some OT. Whirlwind of a day. I tell you what, don't get me wrong. Love my job. Love it a ton. But I am mentally drained from today. Tell you what. And what I need to fix that is some good old-fashioned Action Sports Jax overtime. Brian Middleton is back in the fold. We switched him out for Brent. We started with him. We switched him out for Brent Martineau. Then we bring him back in. He's like the closer, Brian Middleton. What did you do in your time off?
Had to go run some errands, man. Couldn't be helped. Or else I would have stayed even longer until Brent actually got here.
You know, the way you answer that still, like, I have, it just makes me wonder even more about you. But nevertheless, we're glad you're back. We appreciate you here. And if you're just jumping in, by the way, Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton, we have the list of the semifinalists for the Hall of Fame. They made us wait till number 14 out of 15 to let us know Tony Boselli would indeed be a finalist. Semifinalist, finalist, I don't know. The final 15, let's put it that way. Tony Boselli will be in that. The rest of the list will look like this: Devin Hester, DeMarcus Ware, Zach Thomas, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Bryant Young, Patrick Willis, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Rondé Barber, Willie Anderson, Jared Allen, Torrey Holt, Leroy Butler, and Tony Boselli. So some of them will make it into the Hall of Fame the night before the Super Bowl, but Tony Boselli obviously will have another opportunity to become the first Hall of Famer in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But with that being said, Fred Taylor will not make the finalist list this year. I struggle with saying accepted or expected because Fred Taylor was pretty good at football, I tell you what. But it just seems like nationally the respect is not there, partially because of, Jags. But, I guess we'll have to wait another year for that one. But shout out to Tony Boselli. Hopefully he can get in this time around. Brian Middleton, you heard the names. Who's getting in? What's up with that?
Well, my main question is it Leroy or Leroy? Is it Leroy? Leroy so. Butler?
I think so.
Okay. No, he's a Green Bay Packer
from Jacksonville.
Yeah, for a lot of his years. Who's getting on? I hope Tony gets on.
Yeah.
I think it's well warranted. I think they've made him wait long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as that list, it's so crazy that, I remember Devin Hester in Miami, Yeah. So he's had a whole career. Now he's going to the Hall of Fame. He's a finalist for the Hall of Fame.
He'll get in. Keep that energy for a quick second. I think it's interesting what you said there because for me, I've just came to this point in my life. So when I was a kid, I'm going to take it to baseball for a quick second. I can take it to football, but he's not getting in the Hall of Fame, so there's no point to do that. But in baseball, my favorite player of all time is Derek Jeter. And I watched Derek Jeter play like when I was a kid. I grew up, he was still playing. And now I've seen Derek Jeter get in the Hall of Fame. So that is like the first one that kind of hit me that way. My favorite football player when I was a kid was Ricky Williams. I don't think Ricky's getting in, but
never be forgotten though.
Exactly. But to your point, not in college though, so I can't say that. But Devin Hester, obviously, I remember all these guys for the most part. So the question is, how do you remember? Like for me, like I just said, Derek Jeter, it kind of hit me. Do you remember the first time it hit you? Like, dang, I watched this guy when I was a kid, and now he's a Hall of Famer. Any sport.
That's a tough one off the top of my head. But if I'm looking just at this class right here, I think that I could point at multiple guys right here.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, you're young, and then you're like, okay, I remember them when either they were just getting into the league or even remembering them in college. And now they've had a full career,
right?
And they've been out of the league long enough so that they can officially be a finalist here. And you're just like, man, where's the time go? Something that I did want to reference, because I know that you and Brent were going back and forth about this was Andre Johnson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We did talk about that a little bit at the end of Action Sports Jax.
And it's a bit of a comparison, not quite, but you were talking about Reggie Wayne as well.
Yes.
And Andre Johnson's career, to me, is just as, if not more so, impressive. Reggie Wayne, I know. And like,
Peyton
just
Manning.
go. And then who was on the other side of him? And who was in the backfield?
Yeah.
I mean, was he even the first choice? No. And that's not a knock to him.
Right.
He's great in his own right. Andre Johnson, I can't even name. There's a car there. I don't know. Is there a Burline? Is there a Jenkins? I'm just naming last names now. I don't know. Who was the quarterback after a while with him? On the Houston Texans back then? Listen, man. Andre Johnson not getting in there. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Arian Foster was good, bro. I'll tell you what.
For 16 games. And I mean, injuries
I know.
Injuries played a part in that, but he was good for that short period of time. Andre Johnson, for him not to get in, I think would be a travesty of justice. Travesty.
You're saying this year or overall? I mean, I think like overall at some point, yeah, but like this year, like this is a pretty good list. Devin Hester's getting in. DeMarcus Ware's getting in. I mean,
those are names you came at me with. Listen, Andre Johnson, I'm telling you right now, he is
I think Reggie Wayne's getting in. Baselli, we believe probably.
He's got to get in.
I can't say probably, but he's got to get in. He has to get in. So that's 5 right there. Jared Allen's pretty good. Rondé Barber's pretty good. I mean, all these guys are really good.
Man, yeah. You know, far be it from me to say I know better than the Hall of Fame committee, but Andre Johnson, to me, should be getting in.
All right.
Absolutely.
I like it. The passion.
And he was at University of Miami on the squad with, get this, I think Ken Dorsey was the quarterback. I think this was the one with Willis McGahee and Jonathan Vilma. Yeah, I think that was it. I think that was the crew right there.
Okay.
Yeah, man. That team, I can even remember back then. Yeah, they were legit. I'd put up that squad, that 2001 national championship team that beat Nebraska against most anyone that we've seen in the past 20 years. Easily. That team was outstanding. Anyway, kind of getting off track. But
no, that's all good. That's all good. I like the passion that burns. By the way, we will have a college football champion this year, but first we got to have some semifinal games. That's how they do it now. Both of those will be right here on ESPN 690 tomorrow. Get started at 2:30 with the coverage. 3:30 Cincinnati and Alabama. And then at following that one, around 7:30 will be Michigan and Georgia. Both can be heard right here on ESPN 690. Brian Middleton, you had some passion behind that one, and I know you got something on your mind. So here's the deal. Do you have the same passion with what you have on your mind versus what you just had with Andre Johnson?
Well, not really, but it's all football related. It's a good try. It was a good try.
Thank
It's football related. And so, the deal is we're getting late into the NFL season. Just thinking about some things that are on my mind. And Casey, something that I like to do from time to time, I like to do rapid fire hot takes, especially when I'm around friends or maybe at the barbershop. I like to share my wisdom.
Okay.
Let me give you an example, okay?
Let's do it.
Hot take. Chocolate ice cream in and of itself is trash.
Agreed.
If you're eating straight chocolate ice cream, I don't trust you. It's not good. Hot take.
Yeah, agreed, actually. Yeah, I'm with you.
Hot take.
Loud and clear.
I was wrong about Michael Jordan being the second best player of all time. I can admit that.
You're going to say third. You're going to disrespect him even more.
No, in fact, I don't think he's even top 5. How about that one? Hot take. Someone check on Ben Becker over at CBS 47. Hot take.
And Fox 30 Action News Jack.
There you go, promo guy.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire will always be the real Spider-Man. I don't care how many times you remake the movie. It seems like Hollywood is determined to do it every 5 years. Hot take. Casey, have you seen it yet?
The new one?
Yeah.
No.
Heard it was good. May see it. May not.
I'll probably see it, but I like Toby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Now, before I go any further with my hot takes, let me tell you why I even brought it up.
Please do, because I'm interested.
As the NFL season is coming to a close, many teams not named the Jags are prepping for the playoffs. One of which is the NFC-leading Green Bay Packers and MVP All-World QB Aaron Rodgers. Now, despite all of the controversy leading up to the season and even during it, we know they had it, the Pack once again find themselves ready for another postseason push. They currently sit with a 12-3 record, and Aaron Rodgers is playing lights out. A little under 3,700 yards passing, 38 TDs, and only 4 picks. So that brings me to my next hot take. Hot take. The safest bet you can make for the upcoming NFL playoffs is betting against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers even getting to the Super Bowl. Hot take.
Okay.
Okay. The fact of the matter is we've seen this act before from Rodgers and his bunch for a decade, as a matter of fact. Here we go.
All right.
2011, 15-1. Coming off of a Super Bowl win a year prior. Lost in the divisional round of the playoffs. 2012, 11-5. Lost in the divisional round again. 2013, NFC North champs. Lost in the wild card round. 2014, 12-4. Lost in the NFC Championship game. 2015, 10-6, lost in the divisional round. 2016, 10-6, lost in the NFC Championship game. 2019, 13-3, lost in the NFC Championship game. 2020, last year, 13-3, lost in the NFC Championship game.
Yep. Got torched by Scotty Miller, that guy King. You remember that play?
There you go.
Oh. Anyway, continuing.
Listen, man, the saying goes that the best predictor of future performance is past behavior. And doggone it, Aaron and the Pack, as good as they are most years, have shown the propensity to not have the ability to pull out victory when they need to most. Thank goodness they earned that title back in 2010, or could you imagine what the talk would be surrounding Aaron Rodgers not winning the big one? Once again, this year, I'm starting to hear Green Bay starting to separate themselves as the favorite to come out of the NFC. And to that, I say the Green Bay Packers are the Georgia Bulldogs of the NFL.
Oh, goodness.
Aaron Rodgers is like a drug dealer that peddles Super Bowl hope on the street corner of Lambeau Field to his customers, the fans, and gets them hooked. So they start thinking that this season is the one where they bring home the trophy named after the guy who put Green Bay on the map. It's like some one-off episode of The Wire. And again, every year, they let their team down. You know, Casey, it's like my cousin says.
Yes.
She's not your baby mama till Maury says so. Never sign the birth certificate until you get a DNA test. Fellas, that's just life 101, man. Protect yourself. But it's a great correlation to the point at hand, and that's that there's no reason to rush to the belief that Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers should have any talk of them being a favorite of anything until they have more points than their opponent as the last seconds of the Super Bowl runs out. I'm just saying. So the hot take that the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers should be betted against, when you really think about it, shouldn't be a hot take at all. Is Aaron Rodgers the MVP? Probably. Can Green Bay win it? Sure. Would I put my money on it? Absolutely not. Casey Kurtz, that's all I got to say about that.
Well, that is interesting, but here's the thing. I'll jump on. I know we got to go to break, but Aaron Rodgers, I understand he makes his receivers better. He throws a pretty ball. I get that. They never win. And yeah, the argument, I have a somewhat Packers fan that I talk to pretty much every day. That's my guy, Kevin. And he will defend Aaron Rodgers and say everybody says it. What's been around him? And is that really, you just cited, it's been 10 years and he can't win.
And they changed coaches, too. They were blaming Mike McCarthy. Yeah. Here we go. Mike McCarthy's like, y'all better not lose another game or else my team's going to be the number 1 seed. So at some point, you gotta put some of the blame on Aaron.
Absolutely. Well said. I like that take because every time I try to say Aaron Rodgers ain't what everybody thinks he is, I get pushback. Not from Brian Middleton. Brian Middleton says, I'm doubling down. This man is overrated. He didn't say that, but I put the words in his mouth. That's what I said. He's overrated. Anyway, we got more to do. Action Sports Jax Overtime. We got a new segment coming up. It sounds interesting, although I'm not going to lie to you. Brian will have to explain to you on the other side of the break. Stay tuned with us. Stay with us. ESPN 690 Action Sports Jax Overtime. We'll be right back. What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and I have more brand new local coverage to tell you about. Every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, we're giving you more of what you want, more Action Sports Jax. From 6 to 6:30, myself, Casey Kurtz, and Brian Middleton will bring you Action Sports Jax Overtime. There's a lot of topics in sports, and sometimes we can't hit them all from 3 to 6. We'll hit them all on OT. So join us 6 to 6:30 every Monday and Thursday night right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690. Mostly clear skies tonight. A little fog later on as temperatures drop into the low 60s and an unseasonably warm Friday. Record highs 80 to 85 under partly sunny skies and a very mild New Year's Eve night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Men, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom-blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
You almost missed it. It's the final days to get Toyotathon savings even on used. Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas. You'll find all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's 300 used available. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. It's the final days of Toyotathon even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
If you are a man over 40, listen up, because this could impact how much you're getting done during the day and at night. The harsh reality is, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. Here's the good news. Nugenix, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, has changed the game again for men over 40 with Nugenix Total T, their most powerful man-boosting formula ever, and guys all over America are raving about it. Jeremy P. says, this is the best product I've found to raise T levels. I plan on using the product for the rest of my life. And how about Shane D? He says, I had no drive and was tanked out at the end of the day. After 3 months, my energy level is through the roof. I work out like most 19-year-olds. I am 47. Guys over 40, you need Nugenix Total T. And right now, you can get a complimentary bottle. Just text CUT to 42424. It's the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. But you can only get your complimentary bottle by texting CUT to 42424. That's CUT to 42424. Text CUT to 42424.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax overtime, ESPN 690. Gotta hand it to you, man. The music is good. I won't go on a soapbox on it, but the music is good. Anyway, Brian Middleton is the one playing the music on the ones and twos. He was with us. It feels like all day, but it was only an hour and a half from 3 to 4 on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We held it down. Then we hollered at the guy, Brent Martineau, for another hour and a half. It was a bullpen game today. I was the only one in here for the whole 3. And here we are. We got Brian Middleton back for one more half. Action Sports Jax overtime. The first time, or the last time I should say, in 2021, thinking we're going to carry over to 2022. No one's told me to stop, so we just keep going. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to keep prospering through. And so we got a new segment. Brian Middleton, segment guru, came up with another segment. I like the idea of it. I'll let him explain it to you. But more or less, it's called Cash It or Trash It. Right, Brian Middleton?
That is correct, Casey. Yeah, Cash It or Trash It is the name of the segment. I'm going to read Casey a set of 10 statements one by one. He's going to tell me whether or not the statement is something that he agrees with. If he does, he says cash it. If not, he says trash it. We got a little bit of sound effects. Got some production going on in real time. So let's see how this goes, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, man. So first statement. The hottest team right now in the NFL is the Miami Dolphins with 7 straight wins, even though Kansas City has 8 straight.
Trash it. They haven't played anybody. Wait, am I supposed to wait?
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, trash it because they haven't played anybody. Yes, they are hot, but Kansas City is beating the crap out of people and scoring a lot of points. They figured out how to play defense. So, yes, the Dolphins are hot. They have not beat anybody. Kansas City continues to impress. Give me trash it on that one.
There we go. That's the trash it. You know what? I'm still trying to figure out the trash it sound, so we'll work on that. But right now we got the buzzer. Okay.
I like it.
Second up, Justin Herbert is still a better QB than Joe Burrow. Even after that amazing record-setting performance for Burrow with the 525 passing yards?
Okay, that's a heck of a question because love Joe Burrow, love Justin Herbert, like them both. Big fan of both. However, your question was, you're telling me, if you're asking me if Justin Herbert is better than Joe Burrow,
yes,
I'm going to have to trash that. I cannot. Yeah, exactly. Look, Joe Burrow, it's been more up and down. The more consistent player has been Herbert, but Herbert and the boys just lost to the Texans. Okay, so both of those guys is that like a double you lost to the Texans? Yeah. Jags did twice. I think Joe Burrow is just as good. He's figuring his way around. Remember, Joe Burrow's offensive line is a lot worse. He has the weapons now. So, yeah, I think I'm trashing that for sure.
Okay, next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, no.
Will stay within 14 points of the New England Patriots.
Trash it.
In this week's game.
If they have enough to field the team, they lose by 20 or more. If they don't have enough to field a team, best case scenario, they don't have to play football. Trash it every day of the week.
Any more dirt you want to throw upon the Jags before the game?
They have no chance. They should sit Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. All right. Next up, man, there's still a path forward for Tom Brady to win the MVP. Uh-oh.
Like, is it possible? Is there still a path? Yeah. Yes. To answer your specific question, yes, you can cash that. There's still a path. I don't think he will, but sure, if they're without some weapons right now, if he can figure out how to win a couple of games, which I'm sure he can, and win some games in the playoffs, yeah, absolutely, there's still a path. I think it'll be Jonathan Taylor, but you can cash it.
Tell him to bring me my money.
Yes.
Finally cash one. Okay.
I know, right?
Casey, here we go. Turkey bacon is better than pig bacon.
Huh?
Yeah. Turkey bacon.
This isn't a trick question, right?
No, it's better than pig bacon. There's a right answer. No tricks.
You know what's funny?
What?
I know you're not going to see this one come, but you can cash it.
Okay. Tell them to bring me my money.
Turkey bacon is really good. Like, we started buying that like last year, and what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We were making it like in the air fryer and stuff. Turkey bacon is really good. Don't get me wrong. I love bacon, but low key, turkey bacon is fire. Did I pick the wrong one?
Hey, listen, man. Pig bacon is nothing like it, but I do enjoy a slice of turkey bacon from time to time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
but this is about you. No, you cashed it. We got 2 in a row. Let's see if we can go for three in a row. Mike Vrabel should be the leading candidate for NFL Coach of the Year. There's some candidates out there.
Yeah, there are, but it's interesting because they've been decimated and they're still winning football games. You said the leading candidate?
Yep.
I'm going to have to trash it. He is definitely a candidate, but I can't get on board with he is the leading candidate. But
who is the leading candidate?
I mean, Kingsbury's probably got to be up there, in my opinion, because of how good they are. They're falling now, but it is what it is. LaFleur, I know you just trashed the heck out of them, but that's an option. Andy Reid's always an option. How about Zach Taylor? Low-key an option. Frank Reich is an option as well.
What about Bill for New England?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the sleepy, like, it is a great option, but it's like, do you think they'll really give it to him?
No, that's
because he's always great. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
So
okay. Next up, your boy, fantasy god, Cooper Kupp, is the best receiver in the NFL, even with names like Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill out there.
This year, overall.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to trash it.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
He treated you right in fantasy.
He did, but here's the thing. He's not Devontae Adams. I tell you what. He runs those little short slants. Matthew Stafford hits him. He gone for sure. Don't get me wrong. He does a lot of very exciting things. He's shifty. He ain't Devontae Adams. Tell you what. Devontae Adams is something. Just watching Devontae Adams run a route is special. And the Jags need to pay him All the money.
I was about to say the Jags need to hire you to go up to Green Bay as soon as they lose in the divisional round NFC Championship game. And just start your recruiting. Just go at it. My goodness, it's a special thing to behold, to watch you run a route.
It really is.
All right, man.
He's incredible. So I will. There's a lot of good receivers out there, man. Tyreek Hill is pretty good. Keenan Allen is pretty good. Stephon Diggs is pretty good. So yeah, I'll trash that.
All right. Next up, Baker Mayfield is not the long-term solution at QB for the Cleveland Browns.
He's not?
He is not the long-term solution.
You better cash that twice on Sundays as well.
Tell them to bring me my money.
They're going
Tell them to bring me my money.
He did do it twice. I like that. Yeah, they're going to have to do something at the quarterback position. It's not good enough. Like the Browns coming into the year, Austin Lane picked him to win the Super Bowl. You can go back and find that on the podcast. But they had weapons. You ran OBJ out of town because you couldn't get him the football. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, it's pretty straightforward. Turn around, give it to him, and when you don't, throw it to one of your 6 tight ends that are good. Jags can't even get one. They have 6. Jarvis Landry, Peoples-Jones is coming on. Higgins is not bad. You had OBJ. Baker's not cutting it. I don't know. They're going to have to draft one, I think. But yeah, Baker's not it for sure.
All right. Shout out to Baker. Next up, Green Bay and Kansas City are going to the Super Bowl sponsored by State Farm.
The Super Bowl sponsored by State Farm?
Because they're the State Farm
representatives. I was like, wait a minute.
A little too much, right?
I didn't know what was happening. I
like
thought we got
a bowl game, State Farm.
Yeah, low-key. So,
okay.
Green Bay, Kansas City, you're saying?
Green Bay and Kansas City, you're 1 seeds right now.
You can trash it.
Oh, man, Casey, you're down on everything today.
No, I mean, Green Bay's good, but to your point, they lose. Like, Tampa's pretty good. The Rams, I still think, are pretty good. Arizona's pretty good. The Cowboys, if the Cowboys play the offense that they just played, like they play like once every 3 weeks, if they can figure out how to do that in the playoffs, nobody's touching the Cowboys. And on the flip side, I think it will be the Chiefs, but it could very well, if Derrick Henry comes back, it could very well be the Titans. If Jonathan Taylor running the football and playing defense wins you the Super Bowl, Colts are going to do it. They're going to run the football, and they're going to play defense. Chiefs are very good. Don't sleep on the Patriots. Don't sleep on the Bills. So I can't possibly cash that at this point in time.
All right, final statement. Casey,
all right.
The Powerball jackpot is up to $483 million, which would be a payout of a lump sum just under $348 million. So my question to you, if you win the Powerball,
okay,
will you buy Cox Media and give yourself your own show?
No, I would, trash it. No, I don't think I would buy Cox Media. How much money are we talking? 400 and what?
Lump sum would be just under $348 million. It's like $347.7 million.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I thought about this since you made fun of my chicken in the Tesla thing, right?
Since you're what?
Remember when I said the spicy chicken in my Tesla?
You said...
I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
I got you. That right there. Yeah, we got that.
Wow.
It's in history. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to play that over and over again.
Holy cow, that was crazy.
Yeah, man. You all right?
No, I am distraught. I don't even know what I was going to say. I do remember it now. I don't know what sports team I could like get in part of the ownership with that. I know obviously not the NFL because you have to have $1 billion, or like the NBA or the MLB. Like I don't know if it's a minor league. Like I'm trying to get in on team ownership. So that's what I would do with that money.
Okay. All right. Well, Casey, that was the final statement. So that's it for cash it or trash it.
I like it. We're cashing and we're trashing. But we're also out of time. We ran out of time here. Action Sports Jax overtime. Cash it or trash it. We're going to do that on Thursdays now. Come back on Monday, by the way. You know we're going to have those vague headlines Brian Middleton's going to hook up for us. Tomorrow, again, no show from 3 to 6. We will be off. We will have the college football semifinals starting at 2:30. The games will be 3:30 and 7:30 right here on ESPN 690. Saturday, We got Florida State basketball. They are expected to take on NC State. It's been a little bit since they played. We talked about that a little bit in the 3 o'clock hour. You can find that on the podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts. And then Sunday, we'll have some Sunday night football. And the dream team will be back together for 2022. Austin Lane will return from the slopes. Brent Martineau will return from whatever he's been dealing with today, between the traffic on the streets, the traffic in the air, and the weather that kept him in an airport just a bit too long. He'll be here. I'll be here. Me and Brian will be back for overtime on Monday night. So we'll be back 2022. Enjoy the new year. Be safe, first and foremost, and enjoy your last couple of days of 2021. 2022, a new year. Who knows what could happen? I know I got a lot going on. Brian Middleton's going to have a lot going on. We hope you'll have a lot going on, but we hope you'll spend it with us right here on ESPN 690 for 2022 and 2023. For Brian Middleton, I'm Casey Kurtz. Appreciate you. Have a great night. Have a safe holiday. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of Gator